Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your man.
Cruising the whip, pimpin' fun times. Masked up, supersizing a verbal drive-by. Speed dialing hair club for men, wondering if a statue maketh they'll buy it again. But this is bigger than leave, press on hair, or hours spent sending emails no one reads because they don't care. Or the summary of your life goes: lit, broken dreams and pockets filled with holes. Remember you begged saying you were a fan, like on the daily how you pretend to be a man. All because you didn't get your way, screaming out so because no one listened to what you say. Honestly, that's pathetic, and maybe I would have been a tad sympathetic. But you had to make this personal, hoping for a sudden career or life reversal, not knowing that all of the money in the world can't project the one thing you'll never have, and that's a modicum of respect. And apparently some folks haven't heard that targeting kids is a useless lawsuit for written words. That's an invitation to the wrecking ball, and like Pokemon, baby, you're gonna catch it all. And you're gonna catch them all. Yeah, you're gonna catch them all. And sure, you'll drop some lines and pretend that they slap, but listening to you is like catching an E version of the clap. And we aren't talking applause, we're talking penicillin, pretending someone other than life is your arch villain. But keeping blaming your problems on the Hales and pretending that your tears will erase your fails. Liquid trying to boost your self-esteem by weaponizing an army of never was for your next live stream. Now go chase your ambulance, cause I'm out.
And I'm in. What's up, babies? Man, Megan will be here when she figures out her problem. She's having some kind of cutting out problem, some kind of signal issues. When she figures that out, she'll be in. Oh, technical problems, man. If you didn't have them, what would we do without so many issues? Man, today is crazy. Crazy. I'm crazy for not voting in Lynette. That's right. It sounded like unofficially so far, unless something changes on this. Apparently, there's a little election. And the results so far of said election unofficially are she ain't in. That's right. Oh my goodness. I mean, that, you know what's funny? That is a great headline on stuff, right? But the amazing thing on that's not the craziest thing that happened today. I'm going to, when I'm talking about stuff today too, I want to make this clear. There is no April Fool's joke in this. All right. I do want to make that very clear. I'm not messing with you in any way, shape, or form. When I talk about stuff, it is real. These are real filings. Okay. So when I tell you that BBB decided it would be a good idea, for example, to, well, let me just show you the headline of this. Like I said, I don't want to get into it until Megan gets everything back here. But when I tell you that he went after the magistrate, he went after Judge Potted Plant, saying it was based on extraordinary circumstances, including fear of arrest. Yeah, he did that. And, I wonder about this too. You remember how the judge said, no filings, nothing except for you can file these 2 filings that you're supposed to file, and you can file 1 filing. That's what he told them. Between them, they had 3 files between them. 1 lawyer gets to file 2. 1 lawyer gets to file 1 between them. How did that work out? Well, it didn't go with it. So Megan, by the way, is resetting her Wi-Fi. So she just messaged me and said maybe that would work out. But not only did he decide that it would be a good idea to file something when told not to, but he decided, hey, maybe right before my hearing on April the 3rd, I'm going to go after the judge. What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. What's beautiful about this too, and I love this, is he admits to something that he and the ecosystem denied at one time. You remember in December when they had hearings and Jeremy, we couldn't take part in that. We had the only eyes that were there were lawyers and Jeremy. And Jeremy came out, he told us about it, and he broke down how, there were some severe things, including the potential to be arrested if you F around and find out, right? You remember that? And they called Jeremy a liar? You remember them coming out and saying he lied about everything that was said? Well, fascinatingly enough, that was real. They have now admitted it. Oh my God. Like I said, this is not an April Fool's joke. Okay? I'm just making that clear. Oh, this is gonna be a good one though. This is a good. Oh my God, this is a good one tonight. you guys are gonna be like, how can this be real? And I'm stunned. I am absolutely stunned. There are many ways you could go, and I'm not surprised Bruce would choose to target the judge in this, but I am in a way too. Like I said, I'm of 2 minds with this. I'm not shocked by him doing things, but I am. Will there be cameras? As far as I know, there are not. It's the 3rd, by the way. So today, I don't know where you're from actually, but here it's the 1st. So, with their time, it'll be 2 days. I'm just, again, not to be like, actually, you know what I mean? It depended on where you're at. We still got a couple of days on it. I wanted to go. I was very tempted, and I was looking into it. The only problem that I ran into 2 problems on that. Number 1, kids, and number 2, I don't know how my health will be. I'm still trying to get used to it. I don't know what flying will be like. That might be a nightmare scenario.
I died.
Are you back now? Let's hear you.
I don't know. I don't know.
So far, so good.
All right. Well, if it goes out again.
Megan.
It's not funny. My internet died.
Hey, so it's being reported again. This is unofficially, but it's being reported that the numbers for election are coming in, and she didn't win. That's been being told by a few people. So
you mean she didn't get like the 9 votes it would take to win an election in a town with 100 people?
Well,
that's shocking.
Yeah. With all of the chaos and everything there, if I lived in that county, there would be no way in hell I would vote her in.
No, I can imagine that lots of people would not want her voted in. I got to
So people
edit
are saying she got 18 votes. That's what I'd been mailed to, and there are a lot of people saying that as well.
18
So
votes.
Travis had it live, is what people are saying as well. So
Tonight's avatar calls for my court prognosticator character, I think, because with this new filing,
holy,
we are going to be all over the place
oh my God.
predicting what's coming next.
Man, so there was a filing before this today. And the way the filing read, again, Bruce gets nailed down again, denied, but there was a footnote in it. And I was like, well, it looks like the judge is still going with the if then, Randy, if you're doing this, then, and then, that's where Bruce would have probably wanted it to stay, where both people potentially get sanctioned or nobody. Maybe there'd be a lot of yelling. Who knows? But then Bruce drops this.
Yeah, that footnote was particularly spicy against Randy.
Yeah.
We should
It
read
was
that.
like,
did we read that? I feel like
yeah,
that just dropped today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I am
today
losing
after that one
track.
filing, I'm for real. I really want to make this clear. No jokes, no nothing. This is not when
This is
I
not an
read
April
that
Fool's
freaking
joke.
thing. It's not April Fool's. No.
No, it's not. And by the way, I hate April Fools. People who know me for a while know that I don't do pranks. I don't do them to my kids. I don't do pranks. I just don't like them. They're mean-spirited and we don't do them. So I wouldn't do them to you. I wouldn't.
You know what I hate about April Fool's the worst is, today to be on the lookout for anything garbage. But
right.
For somewhere like a Twitter or something, about April 6th, stuff will retrend. And
yes.
then you'll be like, oh, is that real? And you have to go in and watch
not
for
April 1st.
Yeah. And it's like, what garbage, man. I don't ever know what's real for a month.
I know. For a month or two. Yeah, I know.
But it is funny.
Nick Starro got me today. He got me for about 30 seconds. He posted a picture of himself bald. And if you know Nick Starro, he has this beautiful, glorious, long silver hair. He's a Viking,
Yeah.
He has this silver hair that goes all the way down to the lower back. And I bought him a hair bonnet once. I mean, his hair is like, it's amazing, right? And he posted this photo of himself bald, and all it said was, "I've made a huge mistake." And for like 30 seconds, I was like, "He didn't! No way!" And then I was like, "Wait a minute, what day is it?" And I didn't even have to check. I just knew he wouldn't have. No.
So yesterday, a very interesting court case came up. Now, this case is not a U.S. case, but still, it involves YouTubers. Okay, so there was this YouTuber, Carl Jobst. I'm terrible with his name. He went after the guy. You ever seen that show King of Kong? The documentary on Donkey Kong?
No, but it sounds interesting.
Well, the main scorer on Donkey Kong has been accused of some, I think, legitimate stuff. Like, a lot of his scores are probably fraudulent. So there's been a lot of lawsuits that have kicked off. Well, this one lawsuit, though, kicks off aimed at this YouTuber. And for the longest time, I feel people were misled into believing it was about scores, and that's it, So we hear the decision yesterday, and you find out it wasn't actually about scores. It was about defamation, saying that the guy, the King of Kong guy, his name is Billy Mitchell, that Billy Mitchell had driven someone, I'm going to say, to end themselves because of litigation and more. So this is what this YouTuber said, without any fact to back it up whatsoever. He lost.
Gee, that's
he ended
kind
up
of like it's kind of like saying you drove someone to have a stroke, isn't it?
Yeah, it did. That's what I'm saying. It reminded me
Similar.
exactly of that. And and it really highlighted. So that YouTuber is going to have to pay $240,000. I can't remember if it's in Australian. I'm going to just say dollars, but I know it's not dollars.
Right.
So one way it's either going to go up because it's, we're
Right.
talking euros, or it's a little bit lower. But regardless, it's $240K plus court costs.
Wow.
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
lawyer. So you're talking,
You
ooh,
can't
man.
say factually untrue things and that causes, see, that the other trick is, if it's something you've said that causes other people to revile a person, right? Causes other people to harm them in some way, that's a problem.
Yeah, you got to watch that. Well, I mean, that's the thing it reminded me of. Everything that's going on. There's all these people that do not understand the idea of factually here, by the way.
And the difference, and also I know people are, I know that Bruce would say, well, that's what you've done to my clients. Well, here's the kicker. If the information that makes people revile you, if it's true, then it's not a problem. It's not against the law. You can talk about it if it's true.
He could have worded it differently too. He could have said, I believe on the basis of X, Y, and Z that it caused this,
Right.
And he could have done that,
or
but he
it's
didn't.
reasonable. It's a reasonable belief that this may have happened because of the immense amount of stress that they were put under because of this guy or whatever. But
you can't run around.
It's a different thing to say he did this.
Yeah, you can't run around saying this guy is a PDF file or whatever. Again, based on nothing whatsoever. Here's the numbers that are being reported. By the way, there's Chris. Thanks, by the way, Chris. A few people have noted this stuff, but I love seeing it together here. So Zim 55, Carl 51, Rex 51, Russ 36, Don 30, and LMNOP 18. Wow.
What is this? What is this in relation to? I'm lost.
The vote. That is.
The votes.
Yeah, that's the numbers.
Russ got 36 votes. So Russ lost. Did he lose or did he get a seat?
I think they gave me this. The seats are. Give me one second.
I think there were only 2 seats, so that would mean Zim and Carl, or Rex. Rex and Carl tied. How do they do a tie?
I have no idea what they do with it. All I know is there was one seat that I was thinking about,
Yeah.
and wondering how it would come in. So Preston, there was a Barry as well listed on there that went in 17. So she came in pretty damn low on this stuff,
All right, the chat is saying there were 4 seats. So does that mean Russ got one? Is that what that means? Yeah, Zim, Carl, Rex, and Russ. Well,
yeah,
Zim, I'm
Carol,
disappointed.
Rex, Russ. Yeah.
I'm disappointed for Otter Creek that they keep putting Russell Meeks, even though I don't know him. Look, I don't know him very well, but I will just say this: I am opposed to any person being in charge of a place for many, many years, and Russell Meeks has been around for a very long time in politics in that little town.
No, you know what's amazing is 36 votes can put you in office.
Right.
I mean, that says something crazy, like when you get down to it. My Lord.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a good idea for these career politician types. I think you should give new people a chance at it every time. I don't think there's any reason why somebody should be in office for 20 years at all, for any office.
I mean, that's wild. I think, I keep wondering if there's a division happening in the yield ecosystem.
Oh no, did I lose you? Or am I gone? Chat, can you hear me? Or is Tug gone? It's got to be me. You can hear me? Well, what happened to Tug? Okay. I'm sitting here like, it's for sure me. No, like Tug just disappeared, didn't he? Damn, what is going on tonight? You disappeared. I bet he's still talking. I bet he's still talking. Tug fell down. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, he knows he's gone at least. And you know what? It's a good thing that I didn't go. I was about to shut my computer down again, and then you guys would be sitting here with an empty studio. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tug's Thugs. You are on you're not dreaming. This is That Umbrella Guy's channel, or the Umbrella Man, as we call him. Those of us who know him so well. I didn't kill the stream. I swear. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. God, I hope he's... Oh, he lost his connection. He'll be here on his phone in a minute. Yes, you're not... you didn't fall and hit your head. This is Tug's channel. Tug has lost his connection, and he is calling in via phone. We should have him here momentarily. I don't know what I'm going to do without him. I feel lost. Like I'm not prepared to do this show by myself. Untugged Crimson. Yes, welcome to the Megan Fox show, as it were. Wait, there he
All right,
is.
let's see if I can hear this.
Well, now I'm on the wrong side again. Okay, there. Let's switch. Are you
I'm not
back?
sure if I
You're
can
back.
hear too. That's the problem. Oh no.
Can you? Oh no.
Give me
You
a second.
can't
I'm trying to find
hear?
some headphones now. No, what a
Oh,
mess.
no.
What a mess. What a mess. We actually had some major storms roll in the other day. Here, I'm going to disconnect and see if I can put on some speakers. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. All right. All right. We can handle it here, chat. We can do this on our own for a few minutes while Tug gets his headphones or whatever the heck he's looking for. Well, speaking of, what is the chat saying? Just J Hip. I read that. What am I watching? He says, 2 fleas. Get it together over here. This is Class A entertainment, folks. It is Class A entertainment. The thing is, I would just move on with the show, but I want to talk to Tug about it. How's Fairy? Fairy's good. Fairy's okay. She didn't go to school today. I had to take her to follow-up appointments, etc. She's so funny. She has the cutest attitude about all of it. She's learning that adults are not always right, and doctors are not always right. And, she's starting to do her own investigating, which is kind of cute, trying to figure out what's going on. Can you hear us now, Tug? Can you hear us? No?
I'm waiting on the, there we go. I can hear Megan a little bit. Hey, Megan, I can hear you a little bit, but not good.
Okay, but not good. And you're
there you go.
You're sounding pretty like you're in a tin can, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's probably, I'm on a phone is what it is.
Yeah.
I've had to switch to, I can't hear you without Bluetooth speakers or something. The joy of phones.
How strange that I had the Wi-Fi issue and then you did.
I feel targeted. I feel targeted today.
Yes, I also feel
it's like
targeted.
Bruce filed what, sucker? It's like Bruce filed what? No, actually, we had those huge storms roll through a few days ago, and I don't know. Maybe that's part of it because it's been a sunny day today. So
yeah, we had perfect weather today too. And when I was having the problems, I called Brad. And I was like, Brad, what is happening? And he's like, I don't know. Did you get the storms that we got? I'm like, no, we didn't get any storms. Nothing.
If you enjoyed derailing today, folks, and you would like a modem upgrade, then consider donating to the stream. Because I feel like life is playing April Fools on both of us today.
Yeah. Yes. Send those super chats for Tug to get an upgrade for his router or whatever the hell would fix this, because that would be great.
Yeah, I would like to, or maybe to take it out and shoot the old one too.
And film it and put it on YouTube.
I definitely would. I would put it on Rumble. I would know, like, you want to see a Rumble exclusive of a router getting
that would be fun.
Oh yeah,
have like
but we'll see if
Space moment.
I would kind of love that. It'd be fun employment with the Office Space vibe. That'd be amazing.
Yep. I love it.
I can still, if you would, for documents, I guess you'll have to pull. If you don't have them pulled up, I put them in the Dropbox files. So 22 and 23 and 23.
I will pull them up. Let's see. And they are called.
It's 122,
122, 123.
Yeah. And 123. There's an exhibit 123-1 as well.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this Dropbox has gotten far too large. What the hell are we doing?
I told you.
It
That's what I mean. I mean, look at that. And
is
on there,
absurd.
I still have, that's why the judge complained. And remember the judge, so think about this. The judge complained when it was at 117. And now it's at 123.
123.
And at
All right.
117, he was like, you guys get 3 filings. One of you has 2, one of you has 1. That's the thing I wanted to talk with you about. I wonder, he's violating the judge's order by filing the thing that he did today.
Yes,
You
that's
know?
that's how I read it. Yeah. Should I open 123 and what else did you want?
It'll be 122, 123, and then there's two files in 123. There's a 123 and a 123-1.
Okay. So
Yeah, so that's
122.
exhibit 1.
I got 122 open. Okay, that's happening. And then I got to get 123-1 open, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, good deal.
Okay, open.
See, that's why I like the Dropbox. That's also why I don't like your like if you dropped off today, you know, if this would have been on your stream, then I couldn't do this for you.
I know
I
you
wouldn't be able
couldn't
to do
get
this
back
right
in.
now.
I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Well, I'm gonna start using Streamlabs for real, for good. So
I'm looking at it.
in there.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at a computer upgrade, doing something about that. And then if it can, you know, maybe putting a little more process speed. And unfortunately out here, we only have 2 internet providers that can work in this area. We have Spectrum, which sucks.
Yep.
And we have a local play. Well, I got Spectrum, but this tells you how bad Spectrum is. I called one day to complain, and I was talking to their loss prevention people. And I was like, so is this crap going to continue? Because they kept having problems. I was like, should I go get another service? And the guy working at Spectrum was like, yeah, probably you should.
Yeah, they'll even tell you. The guys who work at Spectrum are like, yeah, Spectrum sucks. Unfortunately, we have the same problem where I am. There's only 2 choices. All right, I've got the order up, which would be 122. Okay. Do you want to do this one? You want to read this one first?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that one. Let me, I can mirror you. I've got them pulled up on my computer. You know, I just, I can't show anything.
Right.
So. Man, I cannot believe that. It's funny, you know, phones will work, but the sound quality is such garbage.
Yeah, Starlink is actually a very good. We have one that my husband takes with him when he travels to see his parents because they live in the middle of nowhere and you can't get a signal. And he got a Starlink that travels, and that thing works. And we had Thanksgiving there, and we had like 17 people with 17 to 20 devices and televisions going. We didn't have one slowdown. It was amazing. I highly recommend.
I might check into that. I wonder how that would work.
You really should, because I can say nothing but great things about Starlink. Starlink has been amazing for that.
What's weird is we both had problems, and I know we both had problems because when you were first starting out, I listened to you breaking up through my headphones this way. That's why I had them close by. So it wasn't just on my side. Okay, all right. Let me sit down. I pace. This is my problem. I pace when I'm on the phone. It's like a habit.
Right.
I started pacing. All right. Sit
your ass in that chair.
I know. It's like, what the fuck? All right. But I get a lot of work in. That's my workout for the day. All right, here we go.
That's true.
Let's go. Order is on screen. Yeah, okay. So this is anybody keeping up. This is 122. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the back and forth that's involved with this is Bruce complaining about Zim. He's saying, basically, I can't serve Zim. I can't get it there. And I want to try this a different way. And he has to, the way that he wants to go about this, he has to have agreement with Randy. So Randy was like, no, we're not going to have any of that. And this is, now the footnote in this is pretty nasty. So I'll let you read the footnote at the end.
Okay.
Right, if that's cool with you. All right. So upon consideration, it is ordered that on April 1st, the defendants have moved for a leave to effect alternative service of a non-party deposition subpoena. Again, that's document 112. The plaintiff argues that defendant's counsel did not allow at least 24 hours for plaintiff's counsel to respond to a conferral request before filing the motion. That would be Doc 120. Now, what's funny about that is a Bruce thing that he complains about all the time. He complains about rules, the 7.1, and he complains about conferral rules. So Randy's playing the same game with him, and it's funny. So it appears defendant's counsel sent a conferral request by email 6:50 p.m. Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. That would be Doc 120-1.
On a Sunday night.
And that's what he complains about. He says, not only did you not give me enough time, you sent it on a weekend. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that I'm not going to.
Not even Sunday morning. Like, you sent it at 6:50. Come on.
He's doing that right around when Jeremy is streaming. I bet you he gets worked up because of Jeremy, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get that guy," because at 6:50, Jeremy goes live at 7:00, so it's like 10 minutes off. It's amazing. So according to the docket, defendant's motion was filed 9:05 a.m. on Monday, March 24th, 2025. So not only did he, God, that's messed up. He files it in Sunday night, like you said.
Oh no, you're breaking up now.
Bright and
You're
early the
roboting.
next morning.
You're roboting.
Oh, stop.
Dang
I think
it.
it's mine. I think my email's trying to come back, or my service is trying to come back.
If your service comes back, then maybe
I think that's what caused
get
that.
back on the computer. Oh,
yeah, I think that's what it's trying to do.
Not ideal.
This is a fucking. This is a joke.
This is not ideal.
I just found doing it for this many years, you just roll with the punches.
Just roll.
I'm like, fuck it.
Yes.
You gotta go somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so defendant filed 9:05 a.m. Monday, March 24th. Thus, defendant's counsel did not allow at least 24 hours for the plaintiff's counsel to respond as required by local rules. Accordingly, defendant's motion is denied without prejudice. That does mean he can refile it. Now, I'm going to read the next sentence and then you hit the footnote. So the next time an attorney, in this case, files a motion without complying with conferral requirements of local rules, the offending attorney will be sanctioned. Damn. I've never heard anybody for conferral rules. I've never heard anybody threatened with sanctions over something like that.
I've never seen
that tells you this judge is pissed.
I've never seen it be such a problem, though. In any case, I've never seen attorneys like refusing to confer. It's weird. It's like a very weird thing. All right, this note is very spicy, you guys. It is very spicy.
It's a mess.
It is a mess. So here's the footnote that the judge wrote. The court expects the parties to meaningfully confer regarding the scheduling of Mr. Padgett's deposition. And I got to stop right here and say why. Randy is not Mr. Padgett's client. I don't have any clue why he or Jeremy should be, loaded down with the expense of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, how far should Bruce be allowed to reach into Randy's pocket? Because they want to call Zim. They want to put on a defense. Well, that's their cost. Does that mean, in the reversals at any time? What about all those people that decided to skip out?
Deposition. Yeah, what about them? Is Bruce responsible for them? Was he supposed to get them to show up at a deposition? I mean, he didn't help Randy get them there. Why does Randy have to help him get a witness to be deposed? I don't get it. He's not Zim's attorney. So right here, the judge, in my opinion, is wrong. Why should they have to confer regarding Mr. Padgett's deposition when Randy has no authority over Zim whatsoever? And why should Jeremy have to pay his hourly rate in order to get him to chase him down?
It's not just that. Who is Zim exactly? He is, let me think, the mayor of Otter Creek. So you're telling me the mayor doesn't have an office? He doesn't have any method.
He doesn't have an assistant?
Yeah, this guy can't get a hold of the damn mayor. Are you kidding me? I think they're just being cheap, you know? They probably don't want to
Yeah.
hire anybody. They
I
want
wonder
to
if
end them
he
with
even
like,
paid I wonder if he even paid a sheriff to serve the deposition or serve the subpoena.
no, they probably sent somebody like, they were like, hey, would you like to have your EBT upgraded this month, baby?
Would you like a Home Depot gift card? Could I interest you in a pink Barbie car?
For real. Would you like
How
some
about this
pings?
would you like an electric scooter in exchange for serving a deposition?
But the pings are magical. You're like, oh wow, well I'll really look for that
Would you like some smoky quartz?
I'm sure people are just falling all over themselves and like, hell yeah, that's what I would. Oh my god.
I got this magical rock, and all I had to do was serve a guy a subpoena. Not that
All I had
kind
to
of
do is
peanut.
chase down a yeah, for real. See what? All I had to do is chase down a golf cart. It's amazing.
Yeah, maybe Zim got his golf cart like souped up, like one of those little Japanese cars, and he is impossible to catch. Maybe
He's like
that's
freaking
it.
speed racer.
Yeah,
Oh my
speed racer
god.
in a golf cart. All right. So then the judge goes on to say, because plaintiff's counsel has opposed the motion and raised the failure to confer, the court expects the plaintiff's counsel is willing to work cooperatively with defendant's counsel and Mr. Paget to secure the scheduling of Mr. Paget's deposition. Now, this is a mistake. Maybe Randy made a mistake. Maybe instead of bringing up the failure to confer, he should have just said, this guy is not my client. I have why should my client's resources be spent
Right.
on me trying to chase down this person's witness? That's
And
not my
why
job.
should they?
Yeah, I don't consent because my client doesn't consent to pay for my time to do this. How about that? So
Yeah,
I
how
don't
many
know.
hundred? I mean, you're talking what? 2, 4? How much is Randy's? I can't remember. $400?
At
Isn't that right?
least something
Yeah.
like
So
that.
if we're talking $400 an hour, you know, I mean, for real, to track down somebody that again is the mayor of Otter Creek.
Right. He's not in
Oh,
hiding. He's not in the witness protection program. He's literally the mayor. So I don't
I find it.
understand this.
It's them trying to. I think they're trying to lowball. Actually, I think it's even more than that. I wonder. Again, I cannot say this definitively. I just wondering this if they're bringing up other, trying to create a problem. Oh yeah, we totally tried to do something with them. Really? Are you sure? Because that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can't track down an official.
I don't either. I mean, you know where he's going to be every day. He works at town hall. It's not that hard. He's not dodging it. So I'm not sure how hard they've tried. All right. So then the judge says that he's inferring that means that Randy's going to help do this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. To secure the scheduling of Mr. Paget's deposition. If that is not what happens, then it will be clear to the court that plaintiff's counsel raised the failure to confer and opposed defendant's motion, not because he had a good faith desire to confer and resolve the motion, but because he had a bad faith motive to simply be an obstructionist. And if that turns out to be the case, then plaintiff's counsel will be sanctioned.
What is this if then bullshit though? Because that hasn't happened. Like that's the thing. Why are we having? See, Bruce has gotten this judge so upset though that he's just pissed off and barking orders. And you watch when he reads this new filing, he is going to lose his damn mind.
He's going to flip out. And
God.
I also think there is a bit of the judge now thinks that he's Sherlock Holmes. That's how this reads to me. The judge is living out his favorite fantasy of being a detective, and he thinks he's going to suss out who the problem is. And this is how he's going to do it. By saying, well, he's pulling a total Sherlock Holmes here right now. That's what the if-then stuff is. So I am inferring by the cut of your jib, sir, and that dust on your pants, because you ate the cookie because you
Well,
have the cookie crumb dust on your pants. And if you didn't eat the cookie, then that's what he's doing. He's doing like this Sherlock Holmes weird thing. And I think he's getting too invested emotionally in this case.
yeah, I think he's pissed off, like very much so.
Yeah.
The problem is that if he wants to look at who the problem is, it's very simple to see. Like, who has argued with every motion that he's filed? Who has tried to obstruct the trial? And Randy again can bring up Bruce bragging about, hey, I slowed the trial down 5 months, things like that. If it comes down to it, but. I mean, it's pretty easy to showcase this guy. And again, he's not a Florida lawyer. We're talking about a guy that is serving in Florida at the pleasure of the judge. So,
yep.
Oh, man, it's so crazy. Now, if he would have stuck with that, this is what I thought today. When I first saw that, I thought, well, who knows how again, I've been wondering how April 3rd will go. And then we got document 123. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy. You guys, seriously, put on your big boy pants for this one. And
hey, some people asked, by the way,
Yeah.
they asked if I'm talking into a blue bucket. No, I'm through a phone. We had, yes.
We've had some.
My
we've had some
Wi-Fi has
connection
crashed
issues.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
It
Wi-Fi has
still
totally
hasn't.
crashed.
It still
No,
didn't
no,
come back. Oh
no,
shit!
it's totally down and dead.
Did you
Oh, it's
unplug
out.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've tried to
it's
reset and
out.
everything. Yeah,
Oh,
I've got somebody
Lord. All right,
calling
guys.
them and everything. So
You guys, we got to get Tug a new computer and a new router. That's what this is. Super chat
well,
away. Super chat help.
for real, like I've thought, man, I've got to get a computer that'll run like Streamlabs, something with a
Yeah.
hardcore processor.
You
I
know
feel
what
like
else
the two squirrels running. Whew.
we definitely got to get you a Starlink. I'm telling you, it's so much better than Spectrum. Oh, we had in the middle of the Wisconsin woods where there is no signal. We had 20 people on devices for Thanksgiving. We had no interruptions. It was incredible. Works great.
Somebody asked if there are storms here. Not today. Actually, it's been a beautiful day
really
today.
weird.
There was nothing. Yeah, but yesterday we did. Oh, by the way, this is good news. So that giant leak we had at the house, I fixed it. $10 part, baby. So no more.
No way. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. I love when that happens.
Yeah, it was a gutter extender. So they have like a plastic thing that pushes the water away from your walls. And one of them gave out. It had probably been in the ground for 30 years.
Wow.
It cracked up. So I put a new one on there again, like a $5 to $10 part, and bam. It's so far no water in the house. So that's at least a good one.
Interesting. That's really cool though that you were able to fix it.
Mhm.
I am looking and it looks like
Yeah, that is exhibit 1.
Looks like
That's
there's
exhibit.
Oh, that's the exhibit. Okay, hold on. I
Yeah.
pulled up the wrong thing. I pulled up the same document twice. Hold on. Let me go back. I got to go into the Dropbox again because I pulled up the same thing twice. I don't know why I did that. There we go.
Okay.
Now I have.
So you were saying what now? You were looking and
I was looking at.
You were looking at what?
It looks like there are outages reported in a lot of places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had outages the other Sunday. I guess it was Sunday when we got hit real hard and into Monday. But Sunday, it was bad.
Well, look at what we're doing again here with the cascade of colons. What the actual hell is this? Why is he doing this?
I love it.
I've got my red pen all ready to go. Are you ready for this?
Oh my God.
I look at this. He did it again. He put a footnote in the header. Another footnote. And look at this craziness right here. Fear of arrest. Oh my God, this guy he's so nuts.
He quotes Jeremy at the very beginning. I mean, this is just crazy anyway. The way that this is all set up. I haven't either. And he spends, okay, when people look at this and they say, oh my God, 23 page. Yeah, this is an actual 23 page filing. There's no way we get through it all night. There is no way. No way. Because it is a full filing. It is not, messing around or anything. This is it's 22 pages and a signature page. So, well, really 22 and a half pages. So, but it's real pages plus 4 pages of exhibits on top of that.
Well, we could get through it if I read it. I'm just teasing. No, we can't. I'll have things to say.
Yeah, if it were only us like reading, without any interruption, it would. Yeah, there's no way, even with me reading by myself, it'd be like, well, we could get through it in 4 hours, maybe.
Oh man. But we can try. We can try to get through as much of it as we can.
I will get through some of it, who cares? I mean, honestly, this is amazing. We're leading into, again, the third, and there will be a lot to dissect even after the third, because good God, we have all the stuff that ran into it. I wonder also, the judge told him he struck all of his motions for sanctions, but instead of filing or refiling that motion for sanctions, he filed this. He chose to file this instead.
Oh, this is so crazy. That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
Yeah.
He was supposed to file a one document for
his one doc, and that's it. There were supposed to be 3 documents total between 2 lawyers.
There are so many beautiful excuses in here. The whining and the crying and the tears, the salty tears, are so funny. They're so funny. I thought I was reading an April Fool's joke. For real. I texted Tug and I was like, is this real?
She really did. She really did. I mean, that is no joke. She was like, hey, is this an April? Yeah. So, I mean, but for real, like she thought, yeah, this has got to be fake. And I don't blame you. When I looked at it, I thought, but I had it sent through 3 different people. So, Max Lab, of course, props to Max Lab, as always, send it over. I got it through a couple other people, again, that don't want to be named, but I had 3 hit me at once, but I had to go and check the docket too, just to make sure on my own nobody was messing with me.
I know, because, the date just, you got to be extra careful today because pranks abound. But
it's not just the date. I mean, it's the substance here. I have never seen anything like this.
I know. I mean, let's get. Should we get to it? Should we start?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's insane. All right.
Do you want to start? Yeah, you start the first page.
All right. Motion to vacate consent to magistrate under 28 USC. Blah, blah, based on extraordinary circumstances, including a fear of arrest. And then we have our first footnote.
See, now that's amazing too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's amazing because remember, and I was mentioning this while you were resetting, they said that Jeremy was a liar. They said that everything he noted about that motion, where he talked about this is what the judge had to say back in December, there was no threat of arrest. Yeah.
Right. They did. They said he was lying about the judge threatening to arrest Bruce. Do you guys remember this? If you remember, Jeremy came out after the Pensacola deposition and he said everything that Bruce is now complaining about here. But at the time, they told us that it was all lies. If you were listening to the ecosystem, they told you that never happened. The judge did not threaten to arrest anyone and that Jeremy was lying. Well, now who's lying? Who was lying? Because here he is. He is going to tell you in very great detail what the judge said that day in Pensacola. And he did indeed threaten to have him handcuffed and removed from the courtroom.
I have never seen anything like. I have seen an attorney go too far and get removed. Typically, though, it's because they're overzealous, and trying to defend someone. It's not when they're going out and trying to defend themselves.
Oh God, it's crazy. All right, so then we go down to the first footnote, and let me tell you, the footnotes in this piece of garbage filing are so insane.
Woo.
Whenever we see one, we're gonna go straight to it because they matter. Here's his footnote.
Yes.
The undersigned had originally intended to file a preliminary notice of intent to file a motion under 28 USC and seeking a stay, but Order 118's footnote threatens sanctions should counsel file anything prior to April 3rd not deemed an emergency by the magistrate. Well, how do you think he's going to deem this one? Do you think he's going to say this is an emergency? You're whining about him?
And that is exactly what the judge said, unless there's an emergency. 100%. I'm glad that he quoted the judge on that. Because
yeah, but you know what an emergency means? It means like someone is bleeding and dying. That's the kind of thing that he means. He means like you have to file an extension because you got into a motorcycle crash and you have no legs anymore. That's the kind of thing that would be okay for an emergency, right? That's the definition of an emergency. Is someone in danger of dying or, or serious injury? That's what we're talking about.
No way. No way. Emergency is crying, like, sniveling. I think this is emergency.
Sniveling, crying. Yeah, sniveling and crying is not in the books under emergency. So then it said, the undersigned therefore expedited preparing this motion. Okay, well, we'll see how that works out for you. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
All right. A lawsuit isn't to win a lawsuit. It's to make you spend all your money on a lawyer and bankrupt you. That's what the win is. I could care less if I win in court. If I win in court situation, my goal is to make sure you have no money. That is the goal of the lawsuit. And he allegedly attributes this to Jeremy Hales.
That's hilarious. That is. I pulled up that, by the way, the decision that he's talking about is number 118. And the judge says, he notes the defendants may refile a single motion for attorney fees under 28 UNC 1927. And plaintiff may respond to that motion. Plaintiff also can respond to a previously ordered document for 113. Party may submit any additional filings, barring an emergency situation in this case, until after the hearing. And it says in a footnote, it has a footnote attached. It says, if the parties claim something is an emergency and the court finds it's not, the offending lawyer will be sanctioned.
Oh, God. Get ready for it, Bruce. As Yamaha Biker likes to say, bend over and hold your breath because it's going to pinch a little. Like, this is gonna hurt. Why do you keep on putting a kick me sign on your back and walking in front of this judge? I don't know why you would do that. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Robot tug.
Yeah, you cut out for a minute on me. Give it a minute.
All right, it's coming back. The complaint fails to plausibly allege a violation of Florida's RICO statute in counts 3 and 4. Although plaintiff's complaint recites the language found in the extortion statute, a party does not properly allege a cause of action for extortion by alleging in conclusive form, which tracks the language of the statute. I'm going to
try to get on my computer. I think it's coming up. So
all right, cool.
Jump out and then I'll come back. Right.
Okay. Acts which lack factual allegations and merely state bare legal conclusions. The magistrate granting a long-pending 12b6 motion after having been misled into exercising federal jurisdiction by the complaint labeling as extortion non-extortive statements influencing the amount in controversy calculation under 28 USC 1332. He's already made all of these arguments, you guys. He's already made all of them, and they were denied. These arguments were all denied. This is stupid.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, you're back. Thank God. Well, now there's two tugs. Oh my God, it's a Megan sandwich.
Let me see if I can kick the other me. Get out of here, Tug.
Get out of here, fake tug.
I'm going to ban you, fake Tug.
All right, you're back on the computer.
So far, unless you watch it, it'll be like, oh, no.
You sound so much better. I hate that.
Well, it shows you
hand tug.
It shows you the difference that a microphone, people write us all the time and they're like, hey, I'm thinking about YouTube. What would you tell me to do? Get a good microphone. Microphone matters. You heard how crappy that sounded. This is $100 freaking microphone here. So, that's all you need. $100 microphone. Yeah.
That's a good one. It sounds good. It sounds so much better than that phone. And you know what? By the way, screw Apple or whoever is making phones. Like, they can't make a better microphone on a phone these days. Like, really? Why do phones still sound like absolute garbage? They shouldn't.
Funny? That order I was reading over when I filed that into our Dropbox stuff, I just filed it under 118 order angry.
Order angry. Oh my God.
That's all I call it, angry.
So I was just finishing reading this paragraph where it's basically all the same arguments he made before in previous filings and were denied. All this stuff about how, the language in the extortion statute, it wasn't real extortion. That this has already been ruled on. Judge already said no. The magistrate has ignored the plaintiff's above quoted admission of abusing litigation to inflict financial burden, although it was read aloud in front of him. He has not, and Tug, here you go. You're right here.
I don't know. I keep dropping a little bit. Let's see.
Are you?
Yeah, well, I keep... we'll see. If I cut out, tell me, okay? Because otherwise, I'm not sure. All right. Address the issue of whether the extortion label was purposely misapplied to influence the exercise of jurisdiction, nor the plaintiff's apparent perjury in an affidavit about, quote, online posts calling me a child predator that the magistrate also relied on. Any cut out there?
No.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That's fascinating too, because he's whining again. He's whining about something that it's provable that this happened, and I hope that Randy gets to bring all of this up, because this is him again. He not only violated the judge's order, he targets the judge. I'm curious about that. Through this, I'm going to guess that there was probably an attempt. There either was an attempt to confer on it. Let me see. Did he confer with this too? Yeah, he says, here it is. So he said, by the way, was curious about this. The undersigned complied with local rule 7.1b. The plaintiff's counsel responded unambiguously that he would not agree.
No shit. Randy was like, no, I will not be trying to strike this judge who wants to see me and talk to me about sanctionable things. No, I will not. No.
He's like, I'm noping out of this crap.
Nope. And honest to God, when you read this filing, you have to be some kind of moron to believe that if you call the guy you're about to file this about, he's going to give you his permission, because this whole thing is about Randy and what a bad guy allegedly he is.
Why would he cooperate in any way?
Why would he say yes?
Oh my God!
I guess he was counting on Randy being upset that the judge also got on him, but I think that Randy is a smarter lawyer than that. Oh, Dwayne, thanks for the 100 Tug Computer Fund. Wow, I didn't see that come in. I just saw that now. Big Hondo. Thank you.
Let's see. He linked a document too. Oh, okay. I was looking up the video that he actually linked in that too. I didn't even pull it up before. Did you pull up the linked video?
No, I never did. What's the video that he's?
It's when we get to it, I'll pull it.
Okay.
I'll pull
all right.
it for
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah. It's Jeremy talking for 2 minutes. They linked
wonderful.
when Jeremy was talking about judge says jail. So it's real.
Yeah.
I mean, they're admitting it. That's amazing. Oh my God.
This whole thing is crazy.
Okay. So, but the immediate reason for this motion is the extraordinary circumstance that the undersigned validly fears being arrested by the magistrate during an ordered show cause hearing on the 3rd. Oh God. So all that talk that the 2 L's in them were having, it was real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. You and I were like, surely he doesn't think that, does he?
Oh, But yeah, they actually, so that came from them, by the way. We never said we thought he would be arrested. In fact, I've said I don't think he'll be arrested.
I said
My
that too.
joke about him bringing a toothbrush is because I don't think he'll be able to pay the money. And
Right.
if you can't pay your sanctions, then yeah, they put you in the clink. Like that's what happens. And so I think that's the only way he would end up in jail is if he couldn't pay the sanctions, because the judge is he's gonna give monetary sanctions first. He's not gonna just throw somebody in jail. And Bruce hasn't done anything that I think requires jail time, although it would be funny. I mean, I would laugh. I'm not saying I wouldn't laugh, but we never said here that we thought he was going to be arrested. What we said was we think he's going to get sanctioned and he's
Mhm.
going to get thrown out of Florida. He's not going to be able to do
well,
pro hockey
even
anymore.
even that we've had discussions about whether or not that would happen too. You know, we've talked about
Right.
sanctions.
It's possible that
Yeah.
that he won't lose it, although I can't imagine
I've been saying I don't
what
know.
that scenario
Now,
is.
after this filing, oh well.
Oh, after this filing, it's a done deal. He has sealed his fate with
He's
this
done,
one.
man.
This is so stupid. You don't, and by the way, he has no grounds to disqualify this judge. This filing is so garbage. It's ridiculous. Look, and here's how you know he has no grounds to go after this judge. Everybody's unhappy with this judge. Their side's unhappy. Jeremy's side's unhappy. Nobody is happy with this judge. We all think this judge is screwing up. That is usually a sign that the judge is doing something right.
Either that, you know,
because nobody's happy with what he's doing.
yeah, or he's screwing up. When he screws up on both sides, which, you know, he's not treating anybody unfairly. In fact, he's not showing preferential treatment.
Everyone in this
yes,
case.
that's the best way to say it. He's like, all
he
of you
seems-
suck.
All of you suck. You're
Yeah.
destroying my calm. Like, my life was great until I met you, and in this case, and now I hate everything and everyone. That's the vibe I'm getting from the
Get
judge.
out of my courtroom, you hippie glue sniffers. That's how I'm getting.
Yes, this judge has like had enough with everybody, and he's you know, he's just done. He's just done.
I actually don't blame. I mean, again, we talked
Ellie
about.
Fant said he's turned into Judge Cactus. Judge Ficus has turned into Judge Cactus.
Is that why Bruce is basically yelling in his thing? Oh, what a prick! Yeah, makes a lot of sense now. Oh, this is amazing, though. Okay, so let's continue. I mean, for real though, the fear of going to jail. I honestly didn't think Bruce was thinking he would go to jail, but I guess he proved it right there. Like, that's who it was coming from.
I do prefer this judge's style to Judge ThATuMBRELLAgUY's.
Oh,
It's not even comparable. Like, I'm not at the place where I think that he should be struck for any reason
no.
or removed like Bruce is.
I
mean, Bruce
disagree.
thinks he should be. I disagree with some of the things that he's done, but I bet that if I had a chance to sit down with him, he could explain to me why he thinks that way, and I would go, "Oh, I get it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I disagree. But it's not to the point where I think that he's very biased. I don't. I think he's been incredibly unbiased.
Yeah. I think a lot of we have a knowledge of Bruce that and everything that's going on that, of course, the judge would not have.
He doesn't have.
So when we get frustrated there, it's because of that. We've seen this guy operate for quite some time. Man.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've been involved with this guy now for what, a year? It's a year this month. A year in March. That's the first March of 2024 was the first time I was contacted by this maniac. And it is now March of 2025. So we've had extensive experience with this guy that the judge has not had, which would explain why he is showing so much patience for him where this is where he's concerned. So I'm still not at the point where I'm like, this is a bad judge. I don't think he's a bad judge. I've disagreed with his with some of the things he said, but I think that it will work out. I do think it will work out. I wouldn't want to get rid of him at this point.
No, that tells you also that they think that they're losing. You know, he thinks he's losing to the point that he's dug himself a hole, and his career might be buried there. You know, I mean, that's wild. So he notes this is coupled with fear of threats from the plaintiff's followers to show
Oh,
up in
come
Pensacola
on.
to see Deuce foreskin. Who
Oh,
the fuck said that? In
come on.
fact,
Nobody said that.
not just that, you had an actual extortionist and a violent felon in
Mhm.
paint chips saying that they were going to go. That's
Mhm. And
so.
that they were gonna harass Jeremy Hales. They were
Yeah.
going to show up at your house. They've threatened me. Yeah. Nobody here has said this. Nobody has said that we were threatening to show up to see him
I don't-
being arrested. Although, if he ever was arrested and I got to see it, I would laugh. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I wouldn't laugh, but I never said that. None of us said that.
Well, it's
And
fascinating.
we
So,
don't call him that name either. That is not a name that we really use. That is used. It's the
I
chat.
use it every now and then, but
The
who gives a fuck?
chat.
I can. That
Well,
I call him BBB.
the times that we have called him that, it's mostly been from reading things that he's written. You know, it's mostly been about the name and him claiming that it's some kind of anti-Semitic slur, which is crazy. And the chat will call him that. But like for the most part, I call him Bruce or BBB. That's what I call him. And this idea that he's trying to make it a much bigger thing than it actually is. I don't know of anybody threatening to show up there.
Well,
Now, if the public, though, if people in the public have said, "Hey, I want to go and I want to watch this hearing," you know,
Yeah.
you have a right to be there as the
Yep.
public.
Yep.
A federal courtroom, while it's not open to cameras, is certainly open to the public, and everyone is allowed to go.
Mhm.
So if you're in the area and you want to go, you have a right. And this guy cannot say that the public is threatening to show up. It is their God-given right to be there.
Indeed.
You absolute
Well, and he's also okay.
dumbass.
So for any of us folks that he's claiming, well, blah blah blah. You got to remember too. Remember, he sent emails to us, even talking about us being journalists. When he sent out his non-privileged settlement offer, for example, you know, when he threw this document out there, I mean, he started it out again. I don't want to read the whole thing, but I want to note this email is shared with journalists covering the case. Now, that would mean if he's sending it to all of us, he's admitting we are covering a case and we are journalists by his
and
description.
that they may report on its terms, but not show it.
So we are told to report on this case. He's asked us multiple times.
Have you ever gotten an email from Randy Shockett saying, please report on this thing? No, like that.
I can't
It
even
is
imagine.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No one has done that. I haven't even gotten an email from Jeremy Hale saying, please report on this.
No.
He is the one doing that. It is Bruce who is doing that.
I've never had someone ask me, even in other cases, you know, again, like when talking to lawyers trying to fill in something, I've had people, you know, in multiple cases send me items so I understand something. But anyone that tells me I have to do something, you cover this, no, I don't take kindly to that. I don't like it.
I've never had anybody do that. Like you said, I've had lawyers send me things, documents, etc. I have never had a lawyer say, you need to cover this the way that he does, that he says, the way that he writes these emails. The guy is a sicko. There's
he's given us
something wrong
permission.
with him.
The problem that he has, though, is he cannot go and claim. He's wanted to claim harassment, cyber harassers, and all of this stuff. But at the same time, he's inviting people in it. You don't invite harassers. You know, you don't. In fact, he's picked up harassers.
He does.
Oh, yeah. I've documented that, too. You know, I documented his dealing with paint chips. Like I said, I hope Randy brings that up. I very much do. Because, again, he was told about these crazy people.
Yep.
And that's so weird. And he notes in this document here. So show up, see Deuce Foreskin, the anti-Semitic nickname ascribed to the undersigned plaintiff. He is okay. So I guess all of the stuff that they've leaned into calling, how many sexist things have they said about George, for example?
How many disgusting sexual videos have they made starring me and Jeremy Hales?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, does
And
that
also sexual comments that they've made and allegations, completely false allegations, false and defamatory allegations about me and Jeremy Hales
yeah,
involved in some kind of sexual thing. How many? Lots of them.
it's so crazy, man. But they play this game again. It's always pointing at the other person. He's tried, and they have tried. He himself tried in Depot. Remember, he was going with, "Oh, your sweatshirt, isn't that a little racist?" You know, tried to play that whole thing. That
Right,
was before
trying to
the
get canceled.
yeah, when
Mhm.
that was before he brought in his harassers for hire. They were like, "Well, actually, anti-Semitic." You know, what a bunch of clowns, man. Oh, by the way, I do want to give some love here. Just Jay, from what I understand, they will be doing a live stream Wednesday talking about that wonderful, wonderful article talking about them. They will be talking about that. So that should be really fun. You know, I thought about because I'd mentioned talking about it, and then I found out they were going to. I was like, I want to see what they have to say because that's got to be funny, you know. So people should tune into that one, you know. But
Oh, for sure. Just J-Hip is cracking me up. Him and Starcasm, they're very funny.
oh, they're good.
I caught up on their streams. I missed the last couple too because with all the
Mhm.
hospital stuff and whatever, and I caught up on them today. And it gave me the most much needed laugh. You know, when people come in here and they say they love that we keep them laughing because it
Yeah.
helps them with what they're going through. I had that exact same experience listening to Just J-Hip and Starcasm, and it made me feel really warm and fuzzy because I thought, "Aw, this is what they're always saying. This is what the chat always says about us, but I can say it about Just J-Hip and Starcasm. You guys really helped me out the last couple days."
If Darth Touch would have interacted with these folks with good faith, like these are nice people. They like to troll, man. Hell, everybody likes to troll a little, you know, online and stuff. But I mean, geez, if he would have approached this stuff as a decent human being, then these folks would have just, you know, sat down and probably had a laugh with them, maybe even had them on. But you know, like he said in one of his live streams, it's like, why would I go on your channel? You know, I'd be leading my people to you, and why would I do that?
Why did I do that to them?
Exactly. Okay, so they want to say here I'm going to start the sentence without the anti-Semitic part, just to capture that again. So this coupled with the fear of threats for the plaintiff's followers to show up in Pensacola to see Deuce Foreskin get arrested, as the plaintiff has been promoting ever since the magistrate order was issued. All right, you're going to see the link down here, and we'll pull that up in a minute.
All right.
So the fear of arrest stems from the magistrate having threatened the undersigned with arrest prior to plaintiff's live depot. That is amazing.
So it did happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought that those flea bags said it was a lie.
They did. They called all of this a fucking conspiracy. Again, I'm to the point of what have they said that's real? You know, because it's I get tired of saying they lied about this. What if they told the truth about it?
What? This is so nuts.
Let's see. For the live depot, December 19th, discussed further below. Yes, he discusses that for sure in detail, which the plaintiff has broadcast repeatedly for sensational content and to stoke his followers. See video. All right, let's pull that video. Now, he includes 2 minutes and 55 seconds, just to note. Okay, so it's not gobs and gobs of stuff. I was wondering, you know, when I pulled it up, I was like, I wonder how much is here. So it's actually, you can see 2 minutes, 55 seconds. I have not listened to see how the quality or anything is. So I'm going to turn it on. We'll see how it rolls.
Okay. Oh God, did he do this?
Yes, he did it. You can see him.
He did. So this is Bruce's work.
Yeah.
He made this clip.
You have these side.
Yeah, you can see where he zooms it
What,
in.
did he do
on
it with his phone? Did he do it with his... Did he make a recording on it, like,
Oh my
from
God!
his
Here,
phone on a
hey Bruce,
computer?
let me let you in on something too. If you put something in a drive, especially if you use it, this is something for any lawyer out there. Actually, if you put something in, say, a Dropbox or whatnot, you can have it put together a transcript, and a much better transcript at that
Yeah.
than you would get from YouTube. YouTube transcripts are pretty much garbage most
Yeah,
of the
they're
time.
very garbage.
Yeah, they do not. They definitely don't hold up in court. You know, if
Nope.
the judge sat down and listened to it, that's one thing. But if he decided to just read a transcript, I like how I like how they just threw that in. And again, we get a 2-minute and 55-second clip. You know, I need to look and see how long that would. Somebody in the chat, if you could, while we're looking at this, would you look? It's got the name here. Would you see how long
Oh, I
that
can look.
video is?
I
Okay.
remember this
Because I
video.
see the 29 minutes. You notice it's already 30 minutes on there.
Okay.
So he's taken, just a piece of it. So, all right, I'm gonna let it play.
Comments on everything because that's what's happened so far. And so keep in mind, earlier he was already threatened to be jailed. Literally, if he did not conduct himself in a professional manner, that the magistrate was going to have the marshal come and lock him up. Those are the magistrate's exact words. To be coming from Massachusetts, wiping your face the entire time. Already told you're going to be locked up if you don't behave, and then keep interrupting the magistrate in a federal court who told you he's going.
So that right there, if everything is true, then we're finding out not only was he threatened with it, but there was a reason for it. It was because he kept interrupting the magistrate. Why would you do this?
And that whole video was only 34 minutes. I remember it very well. I remember this
he
very well.
He took 255. So he takes less than 10% of the video.
Of a 35-minute video. Yeah.
That's something else. Again, yes, that's what he says on there, but again, if it happened, what does it matter anyway?
If it happened, it happened. And clearly Bruce is admitting it happened.
Yeah.
So what is the problem that he's saying it happened? I guess we should listen to the rest of it to see what it is he objects to.
I don't know what amazes me. I can't get over because I'm going to have to go back and watch this. Actually, I feel like this video just came back on the menu, because
yeah.
Now,
we should make a list again of the
Yeah.
things we want to catch up on.
Oh my God. Even if today somehow, let's just say there was some crazy thing on April the 3rd and the judge was like, default judgment, God, there's still a million things, like all of this stuff. How did you lose? Well, we'd have a whole month catching up that,
Oh my God. Default judgment would be unbelievable. I've never seen that happen, by the way.
I've never.
Except for in the Alex Jones case. That was
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
case I saw
Well-
a default judgment. And that case, that was crazy too. But, and probably, I don't want to get into that, but I mean,
Yeah,
it was strange. I'll just put it that way.
I think no matter what people think, again, pro or con, Alex Jones, I believe that the court already, they had real
They had their,
contention.
they had their minds made up.
Oh yeah, you could tell. You could tell. And again,
That was a problem from a legal point of view. And I mean,
Yeah.
no matter what you think about him and that particular terrible thing that happened that he did, I mean, there's no doubt that was not good. But the way it was treated with the default judgment was very bizarre to me. Default judgments, you have to understand, are very rare, very rare. I don't think, with my court prognosticator hat on right now, I don't think there's any chance that a default judgment will happen in this case. Yeah.
I'm just saying, even if for some will create, no, what I think would be more likely to happen is that BBB get removed. And then again, you're at this place of what counsel, like who would want to pick up after this absolute train wreck that Bruce has left? Who would want to pick up in his wake? Because who's
going to want to defend him? He says he's
Yeah.
looking for counsel in the case where he's a defendant. How the hell is he going to find a lawyer who isn't going to Google his name and go, oh, holy shit, forget it?
Well, yeah, I mean, the problem with him too is, again, he's made so many threats against other people, like the people that would normally pick up on somebody, like, and potentially give him a defense on this kind of stuff, would look at the shit he's pulled and be like, oh my God, why would I want that stain?
Right. Why would I
attached to
want
me?
this guy? Like, this guy is he is a loose cannon.
Mhm.
He's a grenade without a pin.
Well,
There,
I thought,
I wouldn't
I
throw
thought,
myself on that. No way, man.
no, I thought, when this came up, I thought Element OP was going to be the worst, and maybe Cook could be a problem there too. I didn't think that BBB and 2L would be as massive of an issue for them as they have them, to the point that, again, they've at least talked themselves into potentially having a real problem in court.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. Like, not even just a real problem. Like, he could lose his license when this is all over. Because if you think he's going to get his pro hoc vice status denied in Florida and it won't be referred to the bar, you're wrong. It will be.
oh yeah,
Florida's serious. And when this stuff happens, it always gets referred to the bar. And that means it'll be referred not only to the Florida bar, but probably to his home bar as well, where he is also facing some stuff.
I just
Which we're
think it's
going to get
amazing.
to because there's a footnote in here that is an absolute 100% lie, and I can prove it.
There's so many. I mean, that's what I mean about this document. When I said we will be slow in, it'll take us some time to cover it. I didn't think we'd hit it all tonight. And the reason for that is there's a lot of stuff in here. It's not just about, I mean, really, we're not derailing. We're talking about this. There's so much. Again, he's bringing up a hearing from December 19th. They all called lies. So,
Mhm.
let's finish this up here.
When
Okay.
you get a court martial come over and remove you and lock you up, and the magistrate is going, I don't think we need to do this anymore. And then Deuce interrupts and he goes, no, I think I'm changing my mind now.
Oh, wow.
He's going off on Deuce. He's not going
jumped.
off on Randy.
Do you notice that too? He jumped.
Yeah, he edited it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So I would bring that
What
up.
did he edit
Let
out?
me see. Let me see how far. Okay,
What
so he
was
jumps
edited
from
out?
31:22. I'm
My
gonna see where
mind
he's
now.
at when it jumps.
He's going.
31:22. So he jumps a whole minute out. So he jumps from.
Oh,
31,
should we hear it? Should we hear what he?
Yeah,
what he
let's
cut
do
out?
that.
Let's
Yeah,
hear
let's
what he
see
cut
what's
out.
there.
You said 31:22.
Yeah, let's just say 31:15 just to be safe.
All right,
Okay, that's where
31:15. All right, I'm at
Mhm.
the spot. Let's hear what he didn't want. What he didn't want the judge to hear Jeremy say, because that's going to be important. Importante.
let's see what's there.
Folks. Here we go. Let's
It's
make
muted.
this
Is it? Yeah, it's
big.
muted.
There we
He's
go.
going, I don't think we need to do this anymore. And then Deuce interrupts and he goes, no, I think I'm changing my mind now. Like, mind blowing. Now, the magistrate did look at me and, you good, Mr. Hale? Yep, everything's good. And he did say, hey, thank you for answering all the questions. And he went into this,
So he cut all that out.
which I thought was very applicable.
So he didn't want to put in the stuff that
Nothing positive.
nothing positive for Jeremy.
He said, listen, I don't know why we have so many problems with civil lawyers versus, we have all these huge criminal cases here. And I think it was criminal. I think it is. And I may be wrong on that. Civil versus whatever else. He goes, what I think it is the attorneys who show up for the non-civil cases here, they get a blanket fee. This is what they're getting paid for, and they all work together. And yet in the civil world, you get to charge per hour and you make mountains out of molehills. And he goes, I don't think that's right. And he goes, for you, Mr. Hales, I don't think that's right. That, you get another motion and another filing. And this is costing you so much money. Well, this is costing me so much money because
That's a big
isn't
thing.
that interesting that that's what he cut out of this?
Well, and because the judge has talked about papering this case, I actually think that's very relevant because the judge has thrown a
Yes.
fit about the 117 filings at that time.
Absolutely. I've
Wow.
forgotten all about this part. I forgot he even said this.
Yeah.
And
Man, we got to go back and see this whole fucking video. It's
this
amazing.
is so crazy. And when did the cut end? At 30, what was it? What you said it was about a minute.
Yeah, it's almost there because the line
we're
will come
almost
up. It will say he's going off on Deuce. He's not going off on Randy. That's what.
Okay.
them. And he's going on stating that Deuce is going to work with Randy respectfully and professionally. And he's going off on Deuce. He's not
There it
going
is.
off on Randy.
That's it.
And
That's it. That's okay.
yeah.
So that's what he
Okay,
cut
so that's
out.
what he cut.
My
Mhm.
pause game is so on
That's
point.
good.
Hilarious pause face. That is the very
Uh,
funny pause
I
face.
love it.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Man, I use you know, I shuffle about 3 or 4 images of Jeremy, and I think they're so funny. Like I love them. I love his like his locked in face. They
I
just crack.
know. He has good faces.
He does. So he actually, I mean, considering we're talking about 2 minutes and 55 seconds, he cut over a minute out of the middle of this to make that compress. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Uh-huh.
Going off on Deuce. He is not going off on Randy. And while we're all in there,
they will be deposed. The magistrate will then make an order and say, you will be deposed.
So he switched to another. So he's just clipping things. So he actually, I'm making a note for myself. So he pulled the world's dumbest lawyer.
He hates being called a lawyer.
I know. That's why I'm stuck with it. I love it.
Is that a YouTube video? Like, what
That
is
is
he
a
watching
live stream.
that on? What is he watching that on? Is he on British YouTube? What's with the British
maybe somebody
flag?
else. Maybe somebody else.
Maybe somebody else pulled it. I've never seen that kind of setup before.
What is that off of, folks? Do you all know? That is off the 16th of Feb. So he also, that's fascinating because he goes from a video from December the 19th, 2024. He jumps over to a video from February the 16th, 2025.
Yeah.
Isn't that bizarre?
That's weird.
Or you will be arrested if you don't show. All of them are going to get the same thing. And if they don't show, they will be arrested. The magistrate will now step in and say, you show or you go to jail. Not getting $200, not passing go, directly to jail. Magistrate straight up told him, I will use.
Now he's jumped backwards. So he actually jumps to another live stream. Give me 1 second. Again, I'm making notes of this because don't be a deuce. A denied deuce. But he jumped backwards. So he's actually jumped backwards to the 22nd of December, 2024. So he went from, that's bizarre. He went from December 19th, 2024 to February 16th, 2025, back to December 22nd, 2024. He's jumping all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
My power.
It's very possible.
And I'm sitting there going,
not songs.
This is hilarious.
He's the type of attorney that would spend time behind bars.
We just know it won't be what the hell.
Does he think that makes them look bad?
The magistrate is going to.
No,
does he think that them singing and laughing at him makes them look bad? I'm always floored by this, by people with no sense of humor who are like, oh my God, he's singing a song, or oh my God, Megan Fox wrote a blues song about the undersigned, and the undersigned is so offended. Like, fuck off. God, have you never watched South Park in your whole damn life?
In anything, man. I mean, people have the right to laugh about stuff. And the problem is when you put this into a filing, more people may actually see it. I mean, this filing.
It's the Streisand effect for sure.
Yeah. And we're going to hear a lot of whining about this over in the ecosystem. Oh my God, it's so terrible. But honestly, if you were outside of it.
That sounds just like them. The only thing you were missing was a
it's actually it's a bad Cartman impression. That's the funny thing. It's a bad Cartman impression. And again, that's what it was. Okay, here we go.
To probably say the exact same thing again in regards to behavior, and say the exact same thing. If this continues on, I'm going to have you locked up.
That would be epic.
God, that's going to happen.
Are they going to, or is his minions going to?
Way to go, George.
I love George. Oh, that would be epic. I agree with her. Like, what is offensive about this? He's just repeating what the judge said and did. And Bruce is now admitting that he did say and do these things.
That's why I hate George so much, because George freaking is just like, ha ha ha, screw you guys. It's amazing. It is amazing.
They expect George to like be a shrinking violet or something. And
They do.
she,
They expect all of you females. They expect. That's
Uh-huh.
one thing I've admired by the females that cover this case, or many of the ladies that that post or talk about it, because they haven't just attacked. They've gone out. Some people have been doxxed. There have been all kinds of crazy threats. Plus, you have so many weirdos that have been let loose as well, and folks are still like, yeah, screw you. It doesn't matter. And I love that. I think that some of these people think they can intimidate women away from this.
Oh, I'm sure they do, and they hate the fact that she's not a shrinking violet. She's a force. And George clearly thinks for herself. I really hate it when people are saying like Jeremy controls her, blah blah blah. George thinks for herself. She says what she thinks, and period. And it's really insulting and misogynistic to claim that a woman doesn't have her own voice.
They hope that they can get under her skin. They've tried it every which way. They've tried it through intimidation. They tried it through insults, and
getting to her family. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just man. And again, I hate this for these guys, because ultimately, I mean, most people, you can't imagine one person in real life taking shots. And in fact, I was going through and I was looking at commentary off of Darth Touch's article, that article he threw out, and you have Stupid Dave sitting in there in the comment. He's one of the few. I think there were 3 comments, and in it he's whining about people. And then I saw him so this was pretty funny, actually. I saw him in one of the live stream talking, in chat, and he was complaining about, I watch, So You Don't Have To. It was like, oh my God, they're harassing me. They left comments on some of my older videos. That's harassment to them. But the stuff that is done to these folks is okay.
Yeah.
That just amazes me. Just the crime.
Raise money to bail him
The
out.
crime
Well,
game.
his minions already had to raise money to try and get him there, but then he got stuck.
Did he get stranded?
Stranded! Mark safe!
Denied. The magistrate had threatened to put him immediately in jail if he
So this is
continued
January
doing what he was doing in
26th.
Pensacola. And then he has to turn in his test to say to me and Randy, and that goes for everybody. So everybody understands that.
Magistrate literally threatened to bring in the marshal and lock up the Lynette and Crook's lawyer today. And so,
He was actually there today?
what's that?
He was actually there?
Yeah. All of this took place in front of the magistrate, and the magistrate's no joke. And I
The
love
guy
him.
in the
He's great.
upper
He's fair.
left
And
looks like Bruce.
he is.
For a second, I thought that guy was Bruce.
Well, not the nose though.
No, he's a different nose. But like for a second, like because he's little, I couldn't tell, and it was like, wait a minute, Jeremy wouldn't be on a live with.
You're
that.
like, no way.
I don't know this show. This is a show I don't know.
This is so bizarre, though. So the way he's cut this, though, again, he went December 24th. That was part 1. Or December 19th, rather, 2024. That was part 1. Part 2, February 16th, 2025. Then he jumps back to December 22nd, 2024. Then he jumps to January 26th, 2025. Then he jumps to December 19th, 2024. This is ridiculous, man. I mean, again, and he's allowed to recount this. Apparently, he was correct in this. That's the amazing thing to me in here. Is he's not saying he's lying about it. He's like, I'm so afraid because this really did happen. Amazing.
Very, very serious about making sure that justice happens in regards to this and what's happened in my life.
So, oh no, the judge is thinking about justice.
How did that make him look bad exactly? I wanted to hear more. I was like, geez, this guy sounds like he's been through it.
Well, again, it's turned out to be real. That's the real kicker to this stuff. Again, I didn't expect him to go in and to tell us like that. That's true. All right. So events leading to the motion. Document 96 to Doc 118. Wow, that's a lot of documents, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It is. So the April 3rd show cause hearing was ordered in response to a misleading and inflammatory motion for sanctions. That would be number 96, by the way, for everyone keeping score. Surprise filed by the plaintiff's counsel without a local rule 7.1c certification. Again, judge said that doesn't matter. Just to say. So he keeps trying this. He has tried this in at least 3 documents. You know, after he's shot down, like when he filed document 100, the judge responds to it, tells him you can't strike this, but I'll give you more time. So he gives him more time. In 115, he doubles down on the idea, 7.1c, even though the judge said no. And now we have it again. And it may be in other documents too. I mean, we still have to catch those up.
Right.
So the magistrate immediately issued an order for an expedited response. That would be document 97. The next day, without any response filed or addressing the merits of 96, ordered the undersigned to travel to Pensacola for an April 3rd hearing to show cause why his pro hoc vice admission should not be revoked. 98. Yes, again, he's pissed off. He's like, yo, you're going to have to come. There was no provision for review of whether the motion for sanctions was contrived, baseless, or short, justifying such a response. Yeah, actually, there is. That's what the show cause hearing's for.
Yeah, and the judge, by the way, has the discretion to do that. He doesn't need to ask you to defend yourself right now. He said you could file a response. You still haven't. Has he still not
Yeah, he
done,
filed.
No, he
he filed Doc 115, and Doc 115 is Doc. Well, now, that's something you and I need to look at, by the way, because it amazed me. I went through, and if you pull up Doc 100 and Doc 115, he removes a few sentences here and there, but it is the same. It's a copy paste thing.
It's a copy paste job.
He was so that the document you and I read yesterday. If people didn't check that out, by the way, great live stream, a lot of fun, Amanda Martin stuff,
lots of fun.
But that's what he spent his time. He dropped that like an hour before he dropped 115, and that was on the day. So it looks like he spent his time filing 114 instead of filing the one the judge said, hey, this is your status on this case, which is wild. So prior to ordering a live hearing that imposes unjustified major burden and expense on the, he's whining about
here
money.
He goes.
By the way, if you enjoy this content, talking about expenses, if you enjoy this content and you would like to see better broadcasting than a hamster turning a wheel, think about subscribing, telling people we're live, watching videos, and if you'd like to go further, dropping a little breadstick money so those hamsters will run a little bit faster. That's what we call supercharging the modem.
Money. we need Starlink money. That's what we need now. Starlink money.
Then yes, consider that. That would be nice for some Starlink money.
Oh, by the way, my garage is built. And it went up really fast. It was like watching Amish people raise a barn or something. It went up.
That's amazing.
It went up in one day. They had this thing built in one day. Like what took the most time was like digging out, like the building a retaining wall and like digging out where it was the foundation or whatever. But it went up in one day. And these poor people who did this, my husband warned them that he oversees construction and stuff for builds and things. So he warned them ahead of time that like, don't mess up because I'm going to catch you. And oh my God, the punch list of things that he found, and he still hasn't paid the entire amount. Oh my God, these poor guys, I feel so sorry for them. But also they should not have dented things, and they should have put the bolts in where they belong to, support the structure. It's missing bolts. It's cockeyed in a certain, like, it always has to be something, right? But it's funny that they did this knowing full well that my husband's an expert, and they did it anyway. And like, they didn't do their best work. Oh God.
That figures, doesn't it?
I know. It just does. It's like you can't ever just be right, And in fact, the framing that they sent, the wood, he went out and measured it, and it was shorter than it was supposed to be by like a lot. And they didn't even believe him. They sent a guy out to remeasure it, and they were like, "Oh, it is. Oh my God, It is. So we got like $2,000 off of that. And now the punch list that they from putting it up crooked and the stuff they have to fix, they're going to end up eating a whole bunch of that too. So yay me, I guess, because we're going to get a big discount.
Woohoo! Fun times.
All right. Is this my page?
Yes,
okay.
this is your
Plaintiff has filed a motion for sanctions, document 96. The motion alleges that the defendant's counsel has engaged in unprofessional conduct. The court has ordered defendant's counsel to respond to the motion by March 20th, 2025, document 97. As part of that response, defendant's counsel should show cause as to why the court should not revoke the privilege of pro hoc vice status that has been granted to him in this case. A hearing on this matter will be held on Thursday, April 3rd, 2025 at 1 p.m.
What's wild about that is we kept telling Bruce, like over and over again, we would say, hey, Bruce, you know, all this stupid stuff you're doing, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe it's really stupid to do all this
Stop doing stupid things.
Yeah. I mean, good God. How long have we told him that? We've been telling him that for what, a year?
At least, yes. And in fact, it's great that he never listens, because sometimes I feel guilty. Like, I shouldn't be helping this guy. Like, why am I telling him what to do that's right? But he never does it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, Jeff would say all day long, be better, Bruce, be better. And he's not going to be.
What makes me mad, though, is Bruce, you know, he's out here saying things like, they want me arrested and they want me kicked off the case. I don't want you kicked off the case. You're a fucking idiot, in my opinion. You're a terrible lawyer. I love, like, all this stuff. I mean, I've never seen a judge like, I hope he sees who and what you are, and he sees it clearly. If he can't by now, I don't know what to tell you. Like with this filing and the other filings, again, going directly against what the judge has stated. He's done that multiple, you know, we talk about him arguing with the judge for Gainesville to Gainesville and other items. Think about when he was supposed to turn over items. He would wait again, you know, instead of turning over stuff, he waits till the next day. Then he files something saying, oh, well, I want to argue this. The judge, every time he makes an order that Bruce doesn't like, he defies it. So, yeah, I think he's proven this by now.
I think so too. Order number 98 explicitly preempted any request to make the hearing remote. Yeah, because the judge is not having your shit on Zoom. He wants you in his office, and he has that right. Having created this status quo, the magistrate thereafter, in response to a motion to strike 96 for lack of Local Rule 7.1c certification, excused the lack of certification by ignoring his own cited precedent. See Doc 100, motion to strike 96 for number 7.1b conference or certification. Document 102, denying document 100, ignoring his own decision in First Baptist Ferry Pass Inc. versus Westworld Insurance Company that was cited in number 100. The defendants filed the ordered expedited response, Doc 115, showing that of the five emails on which the sanctions motion was based, one containing an eggplant penis emoji. Yes, this is really in a federal filing, folks. Yes, and in fact, can I just say when I first read this, I had uploaded it to Speechify, so Gwyneth Paltrow could read it to me. And I was having her read that to me in the car, and Ferry was in the car because we had to go for more tests. And so she was in the car, and it got to this point. She hadn't been paying attention, and she hears Gwyneth say, containing an eggplant penis emoji. And she goes, what now? My 15-year-old is like, what now? What are you listening to? And I'm like, oh, this is this crazy case that I'm listening to and that I'm covering. And she wants to be a lawyer, by the way. And I'm like, this is a crazy case. And this idiot lawyer sent an email to opposing counsel with an eggplant emoji. She was like, what? She was scandalizing 15-year-olds now is on, Bruce can put that on his resume. All right. One containing an eggplant penis emoji was not even the undersigned's email, but a journalist's, that's a stretch,
Where was the
sent-
journalist?
Who is the journalist?
Yeah, where? I wish they would show me a journalist in this case.
Have
you
they
know?
ever? Yeah, we haven't seen one besides me.
Not from
in this
them for
case.
sure. You know.
His definition of journalist and my definition of journalist, they're miles apart. Let's just put it that way. But a journalist sent, and I'm using sarcastic quotation marks when I say that, sent to both counsel, to which the undersigned replied. To merely use the acronym polyflop, protraction of litigation and multiplication of proceedings while floundering around on the floor having a tantrum. To respond to the plaintiff's counsel refusing to resolve any issues by stipulation, which is doubtful the magistrate understood.
So again, yeah, he handcrafted an
Call
insult.
the magistrate stupid?
Yeah. He's arguing with the judge, calling him an idiot. He's like, I doubt you can really understand what acronyms are, Judge. That's amazing.
You don't
If we had a
understand
smarter
me.
judge, he would understand what polyflopping and how bad it is. Oh, this is so amazing. I don't know
I'm
which is.
joking.
I don't know which is better, the actually or the judge.
No, the actually is better. That's my favorite.
Polyflop judge. It's a polyflop. I swear, actually.
Actually, Judge, you're just too stupid to understand my incredible legal mind that came up with polyflop. Actually, you're just a dumbass.
It's like, it is the biggest thing since Rico and butt plugs. You're like, what?
Wait, what? What now?
Eggplant emoji, eggplant emoji, eggplant emoji.
Oh my God. This guy. This guy. All right. To merely use the acronym. Okay. To respond to the plaintiff's counter, and you're too stupid to understand. One was unrelated to this lawsuit altogether and was in response to the plaintiff's counsel doxing the undersigns and 9 other defendants' home addresses on the public docket of a second lawsuit initiated by the plaintiff for YouTube content. You guys are witnesses to all the times Bruce's documents were not redacted, and I had to redact them on the fly. You've seen that happen over and over again. So I really don't want to hear him make this argument ever again, because it's stupid.
This argument, period, is just, it's a trash argument, because him pretending that he's not a lawyer, that somehow that he can take his interactions with Randy, and depending on where that interaction is, even though he is a lawyer in this case, he doesn't have to show professionalism all the time. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never heard anything like that.
He's a nut job. Let's see. Only one stating "you're endlessly ridiculous" or ridiculous was an email sent as counsel to the plaintiff's counsel in this case.
Well, I love the fact that, again, he's pretending there aren't other incidents. My favorite, of the crazy stuff, we'll go right back to that in 1 second. But remember that giant post he put up? And he has statements like this about Randy, and it shocking is so feckless that he doesn't even write his own emails to me, or at least without Hale's review. I mean, he writes shit like this. These are public posts. So him playing,
he deleted all of those, by the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I noticed that he scrubbed a lot of stuff out. I noticed that, trying
he scrubbed his entire Facebook page. He, it has taken down all of those big screeds, those anti-Randy screeds. He knows he's in trouble. And maybe it's true that in his entire career, he's never had a judge talk to him like this, and it's about fucking time.
Well, he should have. We've read other cases that were just crazy, it sounded like.
But I will say that I haven't seen another judge threaten to throw his ass in jail. So, this, maybe it's time. It's time for that kind of thing. I'm liking Judge Blytho more and more every day because he's been the first. If he's the first judge to tell this guy how bad he really is at lawyering, well, good for him.
Yeah, he's definitely He's needed it for sure. I mean, you see the way he acts. Like he's one of those. He reminds me more and more of a certain lawyer that we've seen on another case. You know?
Yeah. You mean the one that he said being compared to was defamation?
Yeah, indeed.
Uh-huh. Yes. Did you know, by the way, I don't think we've talked about this, but David Gingras lost his appeal.
No, we didn't get to talk about that live. That is amazing,
And
isn't
he is
it?
threatening to take it to the Arizona Supreme
Mhm.
Court.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you know, his problem there is the fact that, I mean, she was busted with so much evidence against her. Like,
Mhm.
the problem, I'm disgusted though by their prosecutor.
Oh, me
You know,
too. Rachel
pe-
Mitchell.
yeah.
Rachel Mitchell is a bullshit prosecutor. She only like told people what they wanted to hear because she was up for reelection. Now
Mhm.
that she's being reelected, she is completely dropping her promise to do something about it and is completely ignoring it.
And it allowed Laura Owens to go after other people and to,
And refile a
Mhm.
false protective order against Greg Gillespie, which she has done. And she
Yeah.
got. And I can't believe that the Maricopa County judges over there don't have her picture up under the bench so
For
that they
real.
know, like the bad check people, you know, like don't cash
Yeah.
a check from this person.
Yeah, do not file.
Do not grant orders for this person because she's fucking nuts.
Okay, let's hit this. Let's say we'll do maybe again. I'm going to about 2 hours, you know, for our coverage day. It's been a crazy one. I knew we wouldn't hit it all. It doesn't matter. Well, we have more days, you
Y'all
know.
are gonna tune in to hear us finish
Tomorrow
this,
for
and
sure.
you know you will.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna
Well,
wait for us to do it.
Again, I would encourage everyone that is out there to go and you can pull documents yourselves, you know, and
Want to
read them.
read it without interruption.
Mhm.
That's definitely a way to go, is to get a copy of it from the docket and do that and
You
read it.
should.
But
These are public cases. It's public
yeah,
filing. So you definitely should. You know, we come on here, we talk about our thoughts about this as well. And it does take us time, you know. I think I tried to again when I started out, I did go with just reading, and it was boring to me, you know.
yeah.
And that bores everyone else because if it's boring to me, it's got to be boring to everyone else.
Oh, for
So although
sure.
Doc 115 itself showed cause why the court should not revoke pro hoc vice status by debunking that any of the emails, by the way, Doc 115 was just a copy of 100. It was the same thing with no new meat. Just to note that, you know. But in 96 remotely warrant court action, let alone the reaction it elicited, the magistrate did not respond to this filing and had no impact on an order for an April 3rd show cause hearing. No, he still wants to have a damn hearing. He's talking to both of you, by the way, Bruce. You're not special, you know?
Yeah, he got upset with one of Randy's motions too, and he said he wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
He's going to file, and they're going to get sanctioned if he's not happy with the explanations they give. You know, it's not just Bruce who's in trouble.
I think Bruce knows, though, when with Brandy's, you know, there is definitely, we don't know how a judge will respond to anything, but if you look at the way the counterclaims are filed, again, it doesn't list parties. And he comes up with this inane conspiracy saying that Randy is part of conspiracy for X, Y, and Z. How is he not a party?
He keeps on saying plaintiff's counsel this, plaintiff's counsel
Yeah.
that. How is that not adding him to the litigation? I will never understand that. And I think that Randy will be able to make a plausible argument to that he genuinely believed he was being at it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, you know, he's not, you are allowed to file. The other thing is you are allowed to file a response to documents. If he doesn't file, you think about how this would go. The judge has taken Bruce at his word on some pretty nasty stuff. So Randy,
which was taken out of context.
Yeah. So Randy not filing a response to everything in the beginning was actually, detrimental in my opinion.
Yep.
You know,
detrimental. Yep. Because the judge was believing the crap that he was saying. Yeah. That Bruce was saying.
So instead he's taking everything to task, and he should, until the judge is like, hey, you can't talk about that. Then he absolutely should. But The undersigned. Okay. Wait. Having until then chosen not to multiply proceedings by filing defendant's motions for sanctions, although having multitude of grounds for doing so. So I threw a damn fit and filed 5 different filings asking for them.
Wait a minute. Having until then chosen not to multiply proceedings by filing defendant's motions for sanctions. But then I did it anyway.
Yeah, I filed, and he filed not 1, not 2, not 3. He filed 5. He filed so many that the judge even missed one.
He admits that he knows that it would multiply proceedings, and he did it anyway.
He did it anyway. Yeah.
Look, this is a very long sentence. The sentence itself is an entire paragraph. For if I had my red pen here, this is Scott. I would be hacking this sentence to pieces because it's very hard to understand. Look at it. Having until then chosen not to multiply proceedings by filing defendant's motions for sanctions, although, and he's missing a comma here. There needs to be a comma, although having a multitude of grounds for doing so, but with only the plaintiff's motion before the magistrate and it having provoked orders threatening to revoke the undersigned's pro hoc vice admission, the undersigned felt it was imperative to alert the magistrate to at least some of the issues. This should have been 3 sentences. 3 fucking sentences, and he shoves it all into one.
Well, that's how he hides a lot of intent in his statements, because he runs enough sentences together. It's just like when he was saying, there's no phone calls, no phone calls, including blah blah blah. He puts enough words together, and then he can say, well, this is actually what I meant by it. Is that what you meant? And I guess if you throw enough paragraphs together. It's so crazy.
This is nuts.
Yeah, but with only the plaintiff's motion before the magistrate and it having provoked orders threatening to revoke the undersigned's pro hac vice admission, the undersigned he does not get pro hoc vice from me. Yeah, he is pro hack. When you said you were going to hack it, I was like, are you going to pro hack it? The undersigned felt it was imperative to alert the magistrate to at least some of the issues of the plaintiff's counsel's conduct that, unlike the handful of private emails underlying 96, actually multiplied proceedings. That's not what 96 is about, by the way. It is about unprofessional behavior.
Oh my God.
It's about calling people clownsel.
So he's actually making the argument here that his 5 motions for sanctions didn't multiply the proceedings, but it was the things inside those motions that he said Randy did that actually, actually, Judge.
wait. We
need the meme.
We need it actually. It's so funny though. If people miss the king, it's that one. Actually. I love that.
So in order to prove that Randy multiplied the proceedings, this dumbass files 5, count them, 5 motions in 1 day or 2 days. Yeah.
Blame Jeremy. It's Jeremy's fault. It's Jeremy's fault I did it.
Nobody's buying it, Bruce. No one is buying it. This is so sad.
It's a terrible argument. Therefore, the undersigned prepared and filed, as each was completed, 4 successive motions for attorney fees. He filed again, though. He filed 117 as well, which was a motion to, I think, dismiss. And
how come he didn't mention 117? He only mentioned in here 104, 105, 114, 116.
I want to know about 117. Oh, it's down here. I see it. Okay. I want to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to know where that one went, But these elicited no one.
Wait, you missed a footnote. There's a spicy footnote. His footnotes are like 3,000 words long.
Number 104 was based on the plaintiff's counsel. My man.
Did you say clownsel?
I did. I was I think you should. I honestly think that not only was it a good insult, I thought it was funny, but people need to be reminded, like, he's pretending that it didn't matter. You notice he's just skipped over that like it wasn't there. I mean, he didn't even bring it up. I mean, that
No,
amazes
he doesn't
me.
even. He doesn't even.
No. How do you do it? How do you acknowledge that one?
Yeah, and he doesn't put up a defense for it either. He's just hoping that no one will notice.
Number 104 was based on the plaintiff's counsel having forced the undersigned to seek leave and to file a reply to his 12B1 opposition to respond to his falsely accusing the undersigned of fabricating quotations from legal authority, as well as several other misrepresentations. Number 105 was based on the plaintiff's counsel filing frivolous, timed for YouTubes. Oh my God.
Oh.
This guy who, again, the same
Lord.
day we have Jeremy Hale's depot coming out, before it even hits the docket, we have 2 L's. They have a live stream ready. So timed for YouTube, what again? That's kind of strange, isn't it?
Everything they accuse Jeremy of doing, they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, every single thing.
And, you know, the other thing, he cannot keep saying that this is for YouTube content when we have emails from him begging us and other people in the media to cover this case. Not just the mac and cheese case, but this one, the Hales case. What he's pissed off about is that nobody wants to cover it from his perspective because everybody sees that his clients are fucking wrong. Period.
Yep.
The only people that he can get to cover it the way he wants to is a couple of hack for hire frauds, an ex-felon. Those are the only people he can get to do what he wants because they're getting paid to do it.
Bullies for bonuses.
You
That's
heard
right.
one of those frauds actually say, we'll cover it as long as the money's coming in.
Yeah.
How long are we going to cover this, Tug?
I'll cover it until I don't want to cover it. You know how that is? Until I feel justice is served.
That's right.
You know? And I mean, honestly, I'm
covering it till the very end, okay?
I'm covering it until
just
I
like
feel
I covered
that
it, just like I covered the Lulyer Owens case, and I'm still covering it. Like with the appeal, I covered that, and it's just that case slowed down a lot because there was just waiting and involved.
Well, you know, with this, there are so many aspects to this as well, and I'm so bothered by the fact that I get why many walked away, but I don't like the idea of Jeremy Hale standing on his own with this stuff. It's not right. You know, I see it getting to him. I see it. And when he has to, you know, if he's the only source that is covering something, that is talking about it, that's really getting things out there, God, that brings on extra stress. And again, I'm not taking anything away from good people like Shizzy, just everybody. I don't even want to get into names, you know, because I'll forget people in there and I want to do that. But I'm just saying, you know, when the major source out there, it shouldn't stand alone. He needs a larger platform friends, you know.
Absolutely. I always think of it this way. What would I do what would I want to see happen if it were me and my neighbors were doing this to me? I would hope that people on YouTube would cover it and realize how important it was that you're not silenced simply because you are a YouTuber. Right. Just because you're a YouTuber, that doesn't mean you lose your freedom of speech to tell people what's going on in your neighborhood, in your town, at your town hall. All of the things he has done, everything he has reported on, he had a right to do. He had a right to do. And I'm tired of listening to this nonsense about how he's done something wrong. Maybe you don't like his style, but he had a right to do it. Period.
Yeah. And, you know, we saw a court agree, which this will be brought up in here too. We will actually have them bring up the protective order in Ohio, which is astounding to me that Bruce would dare to bring up Ohio, where again, we've had not one decision, but we've had violations. He brings up the 10 feet video, which again is astounding to me. That has been decided. He doesn't get to argue that and relitigate it. This judge cannot relitigate that. So I'm just it's just astounding to me for him to play this game. But let's see. It was based on the plaintiff's counsel's frivolous filing time for YouTube's motion to dismiss counterclaims 85 and 86, based on the open and obviously false pretext they'd be named as a counterclaim defendant. It's not obvious. That is for damn sure. So that would make it, the judge says, no, you weren't there for. Okay, well, the judge gets to decide on that. But again, where's the clarity? Number 114 was based on the...
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you for a moment. So I decided to choose the screaming goat. There is breaking news. I hate to tell you this. There is breaking news. I regret to inform you that Bruce Manskin has filed another motion in court.
Oh my God. Another one for real?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
No, it is a consented to request for extension to answer or otherwise plead. It's 2 pages.
It's for the other filing of the other case. Then it's Fed 2.
He wants.
Yeah, that would be Fed 2 then, right?
Yeah, Fed 2.
Yeah,
Fed 2. He or as we call it, Circus Polymopicus. He is asking for additional time to locate counsel because he's whining he can't find a lawyer because everyone hates him. Plaintiff's counsel consented to a 10-day extension, and he wants 30. He wants 30.
I'm seriously, man. Again, typically in I would say 99% of cases, I'd be like, yo, other people being added in. I would think, do we really need that? But I've seen what BBB has done. I've seen what these people have done. Now, again, I don't know about every person that's been added on, so I can't comment on every one of them. But BBB, oh yeah, I've seen enough to say, this guy, whoa. So him wanting another 30. I mean, again, good luck. I'm curious what lawyer he's going to get dragged in with this.
The chat. I'm just reading the chat. They're like, "Oh my God, no way! Oh my God, oh my God!"
So Fed 2. he's got to. Isn't that funny? He's got to beg the same judge that he's talking shit about for stuff. Judge, I want you to step aside. By the way, Judge, will you give me more time, please?
Give me more time. Yeah, from now on, when there's breaking news and new filings in the case, this will be the sound that you hear.
It kind of fits.
That's doesn't it? Well. I'm looking at the buttons. I'm like, which one would be funniest? I mean, this would also be funny. But wait, where is it? That one is also good.
That is so funny, man.
But I think we'll go with the screaming.
I liked
goat.
That though. That was funny. Yeah. I was like, "What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that?" It got your attention though, didn't it?
It did, though. It did. It was like, what? It didn't scare me. Like I was like, "Oh my God, they're screaming," because it's so ridiculous, But I was like, "What the what now?"
Like, why are you pushing buttons while I'm reading?
Okay, so 114 was based on the abusive deposition of a quote unquote witness that had nothing to do with the case. That was Amanda Morton. 116 was based on plaintiff's counsel failing to pay half of the. Oh, by the way, I've got emails that are attached to that. I did get those, and it's very interesting. We should see what isn't in the filing. How that comes together.
Yeah, my reading of it did not come out to the same conclusion he did, but maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, that's what again, got some emails we can look at with that. We definitely will.
Add it to the list.
God, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to redo another list. I had 8 things the other day that I wanted to actually hit DUI guys video.
I know we haven't even gotten to that yet.
And that's for the 3rd. I'm like, man, how am I gonna make this? I'll figure it out. No, or I won't.
Bruce, could you slow down, please? Could you slow down just a little so that we have a moment to catch up? We can't catch up on all your legal brilliance when you are filing things one on top of the next, we literally cannot keep up. I implore you. I beg you, sir. I beg
You
you
remember
to
when he
slow
threw a
down.
fit and said that we wouldn't cover his stuff? I mean, he had an absolute shit fit about
Uh-huh.
it. And now we
Yes.
cover his stuff and he has a shit fit about it.
Frankly, I think one of my favorite streams that we did was when I went to cover it, and it was just a filing that said, "Wah!"
We'd start out and we go blah blah blah, and he'd get all pissy about it. Oh my god, that was really fun. But I mean, he threw fits about that. And now we have covered everything and we've given our opinion. And the problem is, he's I've seen what comes from
Problem
the
is, he's
ecosystem.
multiplying the proceedings. That's
Well, in the
problem.
ecosystem, they don't cover entire filings by him typically.
They do
They cover
not.
pieces. And I think they're selected pieces, I think he tells them what to. I mean, we see him in the chats, tell him, do this, do that, do this. So, yeah. But let's see. 116 was based on the half there. Cost is ordered 33. Then attempting to extort undersigned on threat of sanctions to pay him for half the cost of a copy of transcript. He said,
Extortion?
What? What a nut job.
Claiming Randy was extorting him?
And oh my God, this is
Oh my
amazing.
God.
I love how crazy Bruce is. I kind of do. I mean, he is so fucking nuts.
Isn't there a song like that? I love I love the way you're crazy or something. I feel like there should be a song if there isn't.
Crazy. I'm
On the
crazy
crazy. Is there a crazy ugly matrix? I know there's a crazy hot matrix, but does the opposite apply for men? That the uglier and the crazier they are, the more you should stay away from them?
Oh my
Because
God.
if so, that really applies to Bruce.
We're gonna have to end it. We're gonna have to end at the footnote today. We got a whole whopping 4 pages of this sucker. It's good though, but still, we'll be here all night otherwise.
We will be.
Yeah.
Well, Shizzy is not in tonight, so if you feel like pulling a little more time,
we
stick
can.
around.
I mean, we can a little bit more
If you're not too tired, I'll stick around.
I'm good. I'm actually very good today, so we can throw.
And the Mister is traveling, so I don't have to worry about interrupting his sleep.
Okay. Well, we'll ask the chat. Hey, Chad, would you like to continue for another, say, 30 minutes or so? Would you enjoy that? And then,
wait, he is live? I thought he was gone on vacation.
Is he live?
Wait.
Let me check.
Oh,
if he's live,
maybe
he's live, maybe we won't.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I don't want to overrun Shizzy.
Here we go.
Like
just running over Shizzy. Oh, he's live. Okay, he's live.
Yeah, never mind. Then. I apologize, Chad, for asking that.
I thought he was gone.
We'll stick for some supers for a minute. Let's see if there's anything fun. I'm sure there's going to be fun, funny stuff talking about how terrible my fucking sound was. Apologies for that too, folks. The show must go on, though. It must. That tells you I need to cover these cases. I've got to. So David kicked off. Thanks for the 6 months there. Posted the Otter Creek Town Hall Board voting results on your Facebook page. Yeah, Zim, Carl, Rex, and Russ the Sus one. Well, notice the name missing. Isn't that amazing? We were told over and over again, isn't it weird to have your own PR team and you still can't get more than 18 votes? Huh. That's strange, isn't it? What was her last?
It is.
What did she get? What were they talking about she would have gotten last time?
I think it was less than that, wasn't it?
I can't remember. Does anybody remember right off the bat? Give me a second. I lost my chat here. I'm trying to pull up the chat in case they mention it. It's just so bizarre. Like they have been running PR and they pretend they have this 20. What? No, numbers are all over. 28. Last time 28. Oh my God. So it went down.
Oh no.
Holy crap.
Well, I guess her political career in Otter Creek is going to be real short-lived.
Oopsie. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to pull up, though. Just give me a second. I got to find it real fast. All right. So she's started pulling up something, and, she's been making commentary on another. one of her Facebook sites, and she put in something that I thought was it's kind of interesting. You know, there's been a lot of people saying maybe there's a little division in the ecosystem going on right now. You know, she hasn't been over in comments, you know, for 2L, and she was talking about firing up her own Facebook, you know, all of that stuff. And then she puts this up. Now, give me 1 second. This was pre-election, of course. So take it with that. But she puts in, I'll be posting here very soon. We are good and hoping the election in Otter Creek goes well. That went really well, actually, I would say. Hashtag Team Otter Creek. I'll be my own voice here now. Huh. Interesting, right? I will be my own voice. I'm not filtering through anyone else.
She shouldn't, because those people aren't doing her any favors. I'll tell you that much.
Somebody asked this in chat, and I do wonder if this has happened. They lost David the donor, not because, I mean, okay, John Cook, that stuff came up afterwards, but the thing that pissed off David the donor, it wasn't them initially. It was their PR people.
It was their people wouldn't tell him what they did with his money. And he thought it was going for the barn dominium and to put a roof over their heads. And it turns out that did not happen. So where did the money go? And they won't tell him. They will not be transparent. They to this day, they will not tell him where the money was. And instead of answering his questions, they blocked him from everything and refused to speak to him.
Now he's taking his money over to other channels, and he's been giving away like trips to Spain. You know?
Oh my God, this guy. What the hell does he do that he can just give away money all the time?
I saw some stuff brought up. And I'm again, David, if you hear that, I'm not going into your past or anything, you know, anything about it. I'll just say that some of the stuff that I saw, if it indeed is correct, I believe it is, he's been very successful in life.
I would like to be able to do that someday and just give random people money.
Philanthropy, baby.
Things. It's great.
And it not hurt. Like if somebody, you know, if somebody screws you out of potentially around $100K, that you're just like
$56,000 that you're just like, okay, well, I'll just give away some trips to Spain now.
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, that's been his flex.
Like,
he's like my middle finger.
$56K to just give away. I can't imagine that kind of money.
I can't even. But I mean, you know, good for any of you that are in that spot. Good for you, you know, for real.
Yeah, it's good. Good. That's great. I'd love to be you someday, but
you know,
it's hard for me to even fathom that.
But you know, that's got to tick off like Elemental P. You know, it has to, because she's got to be looking at. They had that guy on the hook.
Oh, they had that guy. They had him.
He would have paid for lawyers and everything else. Like,
oh yeah, they let him get away. Damn, that was dumb.
I mean, he wasn't a whale. He was the whale. Like they will never replace a guy like that.
No, that guy is a white whale for sure. And I mean, you don't come across two of those in a lifetime. I don't think.
No, I couldn't believe when I saw somebody like that funding that channel. I was like, holy shit. You know?
I'm happy. You know what I'm happy to hear though? I'm happy to hear that talking about the backgrounds of the people collecting the money did something to wake him up.
Yeah.
Because he had questions about that. He had questions about, he didn't like the backgrounds that they had. But people ought to know, who are people raising money? What is your background? Why are you a con artist? That person's husband is a convicted con artist scammer. Like apparently elderly people out of hurricane victims out of their money, out of thousands of dollars. Like, damn, that was cold. You got to know who you're giving your money to. Well, and I'm happy to have played some role in him waking up and stopping doing that.
It's amazing to me because he's still embedded in the ecosystem. He's just not embedded for that reason anymore. Like I said, it fascinates me, you know, and he has been, me too. It's made these people so mad over there that it's been interesting to watch. And God, they get pissed off if you talk about it. They make threats and thrash about. I think it's fucking funny, to be honest. How dare you talk about me, Doug? I'm like, I'll keep talking about you then. Max Lab, thanks for the 2 election results. Sent the email. Hey, Tug, Megan. Thank you, by the way, Max Lab. Thank you also for the entertainment today and sending over some wonderful Wonderful filing. Frankie dropped 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Frankie. That is much appreciated. That is awesome. Thank you. Fallen Hero dropped it a gifto as well. Thank you, Fallen Hero. That is, like I said, much appreciated too. If you need to go, by the way, Megan, you just
No, I'm
bounce
good.
anytime you
I'm
need to.
sorry.
Okay.
Did you hear me yawning?
Yeah.
It's been a long day. It's not
Oh, I
you.
get it.
It's me.
I get
But I'm good. I'll stick for a little bit.
I'll today I was going to talk about some other crazy, but maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow. Jack's mom, thanks for two. 4,100 people or plus people saw an election results from a town of really, I think it's, when it's reported, it says less than, it's definitely less voters than 100.
Oh, for sure. They don't get everybody to vote. No way.
Well, I mean, you got kids and stuff there too.
How long have I been on the wrong side of the stream? What the hell? Did you move me?
I don't think so.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. How long has it been like that? How long?
I don't know what happened. There's just something wrong today.
Stop
it! Oh God!
I can't think when I'm on the wrong side of the street.
Like I can't prognosticate over here. Principal doesn't get Wi-Fi service. Joe, thanks for the 10. The new brain for BBB. Woohoo! If I only had a brain. Indeed. What's up, Butts at Rockin' Stone? Thanks for the 10. Will there be cameras tomorrow, or at the hearing?
No. Federal court does not allow cameras inside the courtrooms, which is why the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, there was just like an artist in the courtroom, and it's really antiquated and a stupid rule, and it should not be that way. And federal court needs to catch up to the times. Sometimes you can get audio recordings, but very rarely. You can, in fact, when I was planning on going, because I was planning on going, but then this thing happened with Ferry in the hospital and my husband traveling all at the same time, and I can't go. So I definitely won't be there. But I did put in a request to with the judge to have my laptop, and I was denied. I have never been denied as media to have a laptop in the courtroom. I've been in so many courtrooms, and I've never been denied a laptop. And I did file a request for reconsideration because I actually have, which you guys, my fans all know about. I have a pinched nerve or something that causes like terrible carpal tunnel, and I have pain all the time. And one thing that makes it bad is handwriting. And like I can't sit in a court. I cannot take handwritten notes for more than like 5 minutes without being in pain. So I did file a request for reconsideration, but I withdrew it because I found out I wasn't going to be able to go. But they are being kind of dickish about it. They're being really weird. I've never been denied a laptop as media before.
Yeah,
Not for recording, just for taking notes.
Yeah, for ADA. They're not allowed to, you'd be like, hey, I need this, I need it under that. You can't freaking deny me. Yeah.
And by the way, my motion for reconsideration was being looked at. They didn't give me an answer. They said that they would the judge would look at it and get back to me, but before he could, I canceled it. I said, don't waste your time on it because I can't come. I've had a
they should be
calendar conflict.
They should be looking at that for anyone, because you're not supposed to have to disclose whether or not.
I know, and in fact, I made that point. I said to them, in 20 years of covering court cases, I've never had to disclose that I have this condition ever, because no one has ever said no to me taking a laptop in, and I made an argument for it based on ADA, but also based on it's unobtrusive. It's the best way for me to be able to take notes, and with being quiet and everything else. And obviously the laptop won't be connected to any Wi-Fi or internet. So there will be no issue of it being broadcasted or recorded or anything like that. Look, I've covered so many court cases, and I have never, ever recorded in a courtroom. I've never done that. I follow all legal rules. Like I have never tried to do that, and I wouldn't.
Why
Uh,
would anybody do it anyway? I mean, you could face some real issues if you did it. So,
why
you
would anybody do it? People have done it.
yeah, I'm
People
just
have
saying,
done
like,
it. I
anyone
wouldn't.
that
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you have plenty to lose, is what I'm saying. There are people out there that
I have published recording that someone has taken inside a courtroom, but I wasn't in the courtroom and I wouldn't have anything to do with that. Frankly, I didn't ask any questions about where it came from, but I didn't have anything to do with it, and I wouldn't. That's something I always tell people: don't do it, don't, because that you'll get, if you get caught, it's big time.
See, that the problem with all of that too is there should be accountability. There shouldn't be a court that does not have public accountability, public scrutiny.
Exactly. And also, if you're going to make media, and I mean, what is this, 1812? Well, you're going to make media go into a courtroom and take handwritten notes
Bring
for
ye
an
horse and
entire,
buggy.
yeah, for an entire court case. Like, that's insane. That's ridiculous. I can type so much faster than I can write, and I can't write because I can't write with a pen for more than 5 minutes before I'm in serious pain. So that's something I can't do. But most people, you can't take notes like that. That's just stupid. And I think that this judge is going overboard because he's believing Bruce and his lies about how this is a circus and people are are threatening him and all of this stuff. None of it is true. None of it's true.
That's so ridiculous, man. It is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I think there should be cameras in every courtroom. I think we should have public accountability for everything. Again, there are, except, hey, if it involves like children, there are some family court. I mean, we get into family court. There should still be recordings of family court going on.
And there are ways to get around that, by the way. So like if for instance, they did it in the Karen Reed trial because the children, John O'Keefe's children, testified. So they put them behind a screen.
Right.
Or the court can actually redact their testimony and not allow the cameras to record during the testimony of the minors. They did the same thing in the Zachary Anderson trial. They put a minor behind a screen. So you can't see the minor's face and you can only hear the answers. And if it was a SA case, for instance, they would probably block it out entirely. You don't hear the victim, the child victim. Right. So there's ways around that. And there's no excuse not to have a recording of it. There's just no excuse.
It just kills me there. Period. Greg Scotland. Thanks for the 5. Knuckle down, everyone. BBB came out and destroyed his career. Yes. And this, can we all pay a moment to laugh for his no from Fig? Yeah. The federal court, man. I can't believe he did that. He did have a no moment, didn't he?
He's lost it. How he thinks that this is going to qualify as an emergency filing. I don't want to skip ahead, but I do want to say that the last line of this motion makes me LOL. Because he knows he's making a mistake as he's filing it. And he says it out loud. I'm filing this with trepidation. Yeah. Well, then why are you doing it? You dumbass. He told you not to. And like, he's the kid who's like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Until he gets punched in the fucking face.
If you think, by the way, folks, that when we're talking about this, that this is not him trying to remove the magistrate. He says that. He says, this I'm writing because I believe that the magistrate should be vacated.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a motion to vacate.
It's all about knocking him out of there. So, I mean, that's, it's just wild. I like this one, by the way, BBB's commissary. That's so funny.
For his commissary. Yeah, and I don't think there's any chance that he's going to get arrested. Of course, that is going up. That's going up by the day. Like, that was before I read this thing. I was like, I didn't think so. And now I'm like, oh boy, you're pushing it, man. You are testing the patience of a man who's told you he's lost his patience. And I don't know why you keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you think you might go to jail? Well, why would you try for it? It's like, hey, can I really see if I can get there? Okay, well, if you want to.
Yeah, is that what we're doing now? We're gonna try and get to jail
because man.
I mean, it sounds like he's willing to accommodate that.
It does. Sticky widget. Thanks for the fun. Introduce foreskin. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Yes.
That's how it feels, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes. That is
Oh,
how it
Amanda,
feels.
thanks for the two. Talking about April Fools. You say try having it be your birthday. It's oh no.
Oh,
Oh man, I
no.
got you a great gift. Oh, April Fools.
Just
That
kidding.
sucks.
Well, my birthday is tax day. So that's
Oh
almost
yeah,
like,
that's right. You're on the
like
15th. Yeah,
yep.
because you're a month off me. That's right.
And I am not, you know what? I'm not going to be in town for my birthday. I'm not going to be in town for the
Oh,
best
you want
stream.
to
The
around?
best
Oh,
stream of
no.
the year. I'm going to be
Oh,
out of
no.
town.
Well, I'll stream. I'll tell you what. I'll stream.
Don't you
Anyone who wants
dare.
to send super chats to me for we
Don't
will
you
definitely
dare
do that.
stream on my
Yes. I will
birthday.
stream on her birthday and I will be like, yes, let's send super chats to that umbrella guy, not to give them to Megan. I will use them and I will throw a party and send her pictures of me having a party. Yes.
Don't you dare stream on my birthday.
Actually, I'll just tell you. Yeah. I will. I'll take pictures of the money and be like, this could have been yours, man.
And he's going to be like, happy birthday.
Yeah.
From all of us to you.
For all of us to you. But if these super chats, well, they won't go through, whatever. But hey, Amanda,
I got all
happy
your
birthday,
super
by the way.
chats.
Yeah, I got your super cheddar, and now I'm eating it too. Oh yeah, yeah, I love it.
Olay!
Amanda, by the way, happy birthday. Again, we might as well bust out the song. We already started it once, right? Happy birthday from all of us to you. Happy birthday. You're not an April Fool's too.
Oh man.
Rickles, thanks to the 5. Heard in the circus, Polymopolis today. Those who are about to be disbarred, salute you. Those who are about to be disbarred, salute you. I love it. These are the counts, by the way. Again, thank you, Chris. I did read them before, but let's hit them again. Zim,
They're funny.
Zim 55, Carl 51, Rex 51, Russ 36, Don 30, Elemental P got about as many votes as names. Actually, less votes than aliases.
Actually, doesn't this math suggest more than 100 people voted? How many people can you vote for in that town? How many people can you
I get to
vote
vote
for?
7 times, babies.
Because that was over 100 votes.
Yeah. That is funny. Well, and there's a few other people too.
Oh my God, it's the Otter Creek voter fraud scandal. Did they
2-inch pipes? They're hidden in the 2-inch pipe.
They carted in illegals for this election.
Oh my God. Patrick thinks of it. On April 3rd, hashtag remove the deuce. Remove the deuce. See, like I said, I don't know what I want to happen. I mean, I know what would be funny, but he's terrible at what he does. And so I don't think they'll find anyone better. But, then again, I think you could probably train Moss to be better. So,
Okay, the chat says you get 4 votes each because you get to vote for each seat that's open.
Oh,
so
okay.
you get 4 votes per person. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what does that mean then? So what is let's see. So there was a total of
55 would be the most, right? I mean, like
right? Yeah, I guess. Like
I mean, how many people voted? I'd love to know how many people voted.
I would love to know how many people in Otter Creek voted, but by those numbers, it was like 50.
They still have a heck of a turnout, though. I mean, honestly, like if you got
that's
less
like
than
50%.
100 people,
That's
yeah,
like
over 50.
That's more than 50% of Otter Creek who voted. I'm proud of you, Otter Creek.
Yeah,
wow,
that's weird, man.
Oh, Jerry says 84 ballots. So
Whoa.
Almost everybody voted. Oh
That's
my
crazy,
God.
man. I would love for them to go through and make sure those are real people. Wouldn't be hard to do,
Well, some are saying it was 60 some votes. That's still more than 50.
Yeah, that's still crazy. I mean, when we're talking about a U.S. bounds, what? Come on.
Yeah.
Miss PJ, thanks for there are 4 seats. Yes, indeed. Thank you for pointing that out too. I'm glad people did point that out. Polar Spark, thanks for 2. What button you press, Megan? I know, Megan knocked that. She's the one
When
who
you
did that to me.
disappeared, everyone was blaming me.
That's what happened. Actually, She knocked out my
Yeah, I
Wi-Fi.
did it. It was my fault.
She did. Yeah, that was her April Fool's, by the way. Yeah, I'm my favorites. That's what happened. I agree. No, I appreciate all of you too. I know it was a little technically fraught with difficulty today, but Megan held down the fortress. Thank you. And you all stuck around. Thanks again. It is definitely appreciated. We just roll on. We roll in whatever. Little B dropped that super sticker. Thank you, Little B. That is awesome. I appreciate that. I always love going through this with the kids. So thank you. Chris, thanks for the 2. If Russ gets removed, is ethical hearing done in? I forgot about his hearing. I forgot all about the hearing, by the way.
Nothing's going to happen to him. He's a good old boy.
Yeah, he's
Nothing is going to happen to him at all. That ethics hearing is going to get shoved right under the rug and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Trust me on this. Russell Meeks is a lifer there. Okay. What?
This is funny. Just Jay was like, what about I watch it too? Please get together over here. That's hilarious.
We need to step up our game if we're being compared to that.
Oh man. Well, it was pretty awful. I mean, Lord. What's really bad is that is probably so I was doing that through Bluetooth speakers, but that's still, they are the type like the Samsung 2, so they're actually pretty good speaker. They sound good. Microphone though, I've never. I need to invest in something that plugs
microphone
in.
sounds awful.
Yeah, well, it's only supposed to be a call microphone, So that's all it is.
But I mean, even those I think sound terrible. I haven't had a Bluetooth one yet where the microphone on the phone sounded better than just being on the phone itself.
No, I mean usually we're pumping through. Again, this is a freaking $100 microphone here, but you can tell the difference. I don't have it. I have it cleaning up a little bit of the background sound, but that's it. But it's amazing, something that filters out the garbage sound and puts it in. Again, if you want to YouTube, people focus a lot of times on image. You need sound quality first.
You need sound quality first. Yeah. Oh God, I'm glad. I for one am glad that the Fleas got new microphones because my God, do you remember what it sounded like back in the day? Oh, I don't know what they were speaking into. Potatoes, possibly, but
yes,
it was very hard to understand. Like
it was
worse
so
than usual.
Yeah, I was glad that they. Although it is kind of interesting, like where'd the money come from for everybody?
Oh well. I guess they sold enough little.
Yeah, I'm sure. Peen Rocks played for them.
Peen Rocks.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Magic Rocks that they got on Temu that they sold for 600% the price.
I'm sure.
600% markup.
Let's see, Jack. Thanks for the 2. Mother Nature Kill Connection. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
That's how it went. I'm my favorites. Thanks for the 2. Phone a friend, Tug. Indeed. That's what I went with there. Stick, what's up? Thanks for the 5. I was totally thinking the BB's fine today. It was the most epic April Fool's joke. And April Fool's. I
it
really
would be great
think
if you filed a second one tomorrow morning that said April Fools.
Yeah.
Just
Psych. Yeah.
Psych.
Ron, thanks, dude, for the internet bill. Yeah, I got to buy some cheese for those rats. Clear as mud. 28 months. Thank you. Alert. It
was so weird, though, that I had the problems first because it was definitely me.
Yeah.
My internet went out.
Yeah.
And then just a few minutes later, yours did?
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, I know it felt conspiracy, didn't it?
It felt not an accident.
Yes, it was very evil. So, Elephant, thanks for doing so professional. That's about how it went.
So that was like a Valley Girl. So profesh,
baby.
So profesh.
I'm profesh while drinking my pumpkin latte, soy milk, double shot espresso.
So fresh.
Oh, so good. Iowa gal, thanks for the 10. I can't do that very long to repair Tug's connection. Don't you love thunderstorms? I love how after thunderstorms, it can be beautiful in the day, and then it's like, we have an excuse not to give you a good connection.
Right. We can just slow everybody down because, there were storms.
Yeah, there's it. Actually, here's a good answer too. Chris, thanks for Jeremy killed Tug's connection. How dare him? I blame Jeremy too. What a monster. Mama, thanks for the find there. Fine tug funds. I know. Where in the world is that umbrella guy now? Jack, thanks for the five. Russell has 13 factual complaints against him. Ethics committee,
It's not going to
425. Yeah.
matter.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
see. You know, if it happens, I will be shocked.
I would be shocked also. You
I
don't
thought they
understand how long he's been there and how entrenched he is.
Well, it's
There
that
are
whole old
pictures of
boys
him with the
network.
governor, okay? Like, he ain't going anywhere.
People, I mean, people really don't understand when they talk about the old boys now, the old boy, you know, the groups, networking.
Yeah.
They don't understand like how entrenched that is sometimes. You
Oh,
cannot.
it's bad.
Man, I've seen it. I've seen it in real life. I've seen
It's
it in
real
some small
bad.
towns.
And especially in these little small towns in the South. I hate to say it, but I mean, not that it doesn't happen in the North. It does. It does. It absolutely does. But it is a way of life in a lot of these.
Yeah,
little
these are
places in the
towns that
South.
like, who honestly cares normally about a town with less than 100 people? Who's
Right,
out there
nobody.
monitoring it?
Nobody.
So they get away with a lot.
It's their own little fiefdom. They can make their
Yep.
own little kingdom in these little places where nobody is checking.
Yep.
And they will, and they do. And it will be generational. You know, when I looked into Levy County, I found that the clerk of court was retiring and his son was taking the spot.
See, that's
That
wild.
is not okay.
No, it's not. It's not at all. It is not at all. My God, man. I was looking at my stats, you know, audiobook wise, and I can tell I was doing a lot last month. I put in 110 hours of audiobook listening alone.
Nice.
Jeez, man.
I should have downloaded some of those for my hospital stay.
That's the way to go.
I
mean,
am feeling so tired, and I feel like I did nothing but sleep at the hospital. Like literally, that's all we did. We were just waiting around. So I slept most of the time that we were there, other than, you know, and so did my daughter because she was tired too. And because you know how they wake you up all night long. So like we would just sleep whenever we could sleep. And I felt like that's all I did for the last 5 days. But oh my God, today
sucks it out of you too.
it
you
hit
know?
me. It hit me today. I feel like I'm walking dead. It's bizarre.
I feel like the hospitals just suck the energy out of you, you know?
Yeah.
God.
Well, like my anxiety was super high too the whole time, and like then you finally can relax when you're at home, and yeah, I just feel
Remind me to
feel
tell you
worn
about
out.
remind me to tell you about all the IKEA hospital crap tomorrow. My God.
Okay.
So there's so much new and it is so bizarre. I'll
Oh,
tell you about
good.
the stream there. It's
Okay.
crazy. So Elephant, thanks to welcome to Derailed with Mug. Yes, that's about it. All night.
Come on, you missed me. You
uh,
missed my derailment.
No, it's fun. It's fun to, you know, it's fun there. The laughing, goofing off,
Yeah.
having fun despite the crazy people that threaten us at all opportunities. You know, Polar Spark,
Yep.
thanks for the 2. The best thing about Travis's video was the signs. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I
Which
think it'll be good.
video?
His live election stuff coverage. So he did a election
I didn't
coverage.
know
Yeah,
I didn't know he did
Yeah.
that. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Fallen Hero, thanks for the 2. Bad day for streaming. Yes, it's been one place.
Sometimes you cannot choose what the world is going to do. Somebody also said there might have been solar flares, which would
Actually,
explain why both of us had problems.
I like that when Aaron said, thanks for the BBBs, and the actual bees got the internet. That's what it was.
Yeah, the bees in the wall.
Exactly.
They're chewing through the cords.
They teamed up with the little people on the walls. I'm going to see them riding on their backs like the littles, you know.
Did you
They're gonna
find
attack
somebody
me.
to come and get the hive?
Yeah, we found somebody. So I've contacted someone. Then the rain hit, so they can't come. You know, with all the rain. But
are they
yeah,
relocated?
they're going to come and look at it. So we'll see. You know,
Those bees,
We'll
if
see.
they're honeybees, like you'll
Yeah.
have people fighting you to get them.
Oh, well, you know, it's the location. It's so high up. That's one of the places. You know, most people will be out
We
there in
had
a heartbeat.
one in a tree that we were going to cut down, and it was a giant honeybee swarm. It was actually a swarm, and we had to have somebody come and relocate the bees before they could cut the tree down, and it was quite the process because it was a very big tree, and it was a huge nest of them or whatever. And they sure came, and they moved them all. They removed them and took them someplace nice, and I don't know.
That's
Maybe
what
they're
this
maybe they're
person
in
says.
Meghan Markle's garden right now. I'm not sure.
They're chilling.
They're chilling in Montecito right now.
That's pretty nice. You're like, oh, we can hope, right? We can hope for them.
Yes,
Like
they're
Bill
living
here.
with rich people, like in Martha's Vineyard or somewhere.
Bill's like, hey, call tech support in New Delhi. Indeed. Elephant says, thanks for the tech. Sounds like the best flight attendant. Yes, welcome to American Airlines. We will now be traveling with Captain Megan tonight. She asks that you keep your laughing to a maximum. Thank you.
You know, I've been flying a lot recently, and I decided to take Southwest to Arizona, and I hadn't flown Southwest in a really long time because Rochester Airport's very small, and Southwest doesn't go a lot of places from here.
Mhm.
And so I'm always on American or whatever, but Southwest is like ramping up their service. I got to tell you, if you have the chance to fly Southwest, pick it over every other airline. It is so much better than all the other airlines. American, United, Delta doesn't hold a candle to it. Southwest, they're not only funny, and I always appreciate that. Like they are so funny, and they will yell at you and say hilarious things about, I don't want to hear your complaining. Just sit there. It's 45 minutes. You'll be fine. And it's crazy. It's funny because everyone's already anxious, you know, and to be on a plane, and they always make it fun. But their seats are so much bigger. And the legroom, there's so much more legroom on Southwest than on any other airline I've been on. I don't ever want to fly another airline ever again. I'm telling you.
Oh man, I tell you, like freaking legroom.
Oh,
that's
you're
terrible
so,
being tall.
and you're such a large man.
Yeah, I like to sit, you know, in by the doors that way. They're like, are you ready for all of the responsibility?
You're like, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure I am. You know, like there's gonna be a lot of responsibility. You know,
I just have to open the door and throw it out onto the ground.
I'll definitly do that. I'll be like,
don't worry,
I'm out of here. Yeah.
I just had a mental picture.
You should be like jumping out.
Of that guy. Remember there was I think he was a Southwest flight attendant who like he hit the panic button thing and he got the slide out and like he grabbed some vodka bottles and slid out of the plane. He was like, later bitches.
Yeah, he's like, see you.
That would be Tug. It's like, yeah, I'm out of here. No, and I'm telling you though, fly Southwest if you can. It is so much more comfortable and
I've actually
pleasant.
liked Southwest anyway. They're a better airline I've had, you know, when I've had to fly. I haven't had to fly lots, but I've had a few. I'll tell you
what, United and American and Delta, all of those flight attendants have a stick up their ass, and I am so over it. They're rude and mean and nasty, and they hate their jobs. But then you get on Southwest, and it's like a club in there. They had red and blue lights going. I'm not kidding. Like we got on the plane, and my daughter was like, "Whoa, what is this vibe? It's very romantic in here." They had like red and blue lights. It was maybe a new plane. I'm not sure, but we were laughing, and I was like, I said to the flight attendant, "I'm like, this is quite the vibe." And they had disco music playing. Yeah, they had disco music playing. We were like, this is a party. And now maybe it was because we were it was a flight to Vegas or whatever, but still it was so fun. And then they were joking around and laughing with people. And like, it was a totally different vibe than any other airline and they're all just nasty. I'm telling you, don't fly United and American.
The worst flight I've ever had was right after I had to go to a funeral 3 days after 9/11. And I got pulled for every damn random check there was.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God, man. You talk about, the security then. Woo, that was a lot of fun. I was like, man, you know, there are a lot of people with automatic rifles watching as I get. And like, these are the people that aren't out there, you know, on the front lines. These are stay-at-home soldiers. And they seem very trigger happy. They were like, watching. I was like, oh no.
It was scary. The first time I flew after 9/11, I remember feeling like looking around at everybody who was getting on my flight. And it was funny because it made me feel like we were all kind of on the same team. Because I'm looking around at guys that I would normally not even consider, like, I wouldn't even look at people. Like, you just get on
Right.
your plane and you
Yeah,
fly,
you just
right?
do your thing. Yeah.
Just do your thing. Like, you don't pay attention. Now I'm sizing up everybody that's getting on the plane. I'm like, that guy will fight. That guy's good. That guy,
Right.
he'll throw down. Like, I think I'm glad he's on this flight, and like maybe that guy too. Like, he'll throw down probably. Like, it's just funny. It was funny how it made you think about things in a totally different way.
We were in, I think it was Ohio, and it was cold out there. They made us take our coats for check, and they took off our shoes, and they made us take them off before they got to it. So they were doing all this. You know, everybody's like, "Man, I'm freezing out here." So this one guy, he said something like, "What do you think? I got a bomb in my shoe?" You know, something like being asinine. And when they said, "Oh my God,"
don't say that.
I was like, "What an idiot!" So,
one time, I was standing in BWI. What is it, TSA check or whatever, and this was kind of close to then as well, and I was wearing a sweatshirt, but I didn't have a t-shirt on underneath, and they were like, "You have to take off your sweatshirt." I'm like, "But I'm not wearing a shirt underneath of it." And they're like, "Well, it's either that or you have to go into a private room." And I'm like, "Well, I don't want that." And I'm with my mom, and I look at her and she goes, "Just take it off." I'm in the front of all of these people. I took off my sweatshirt. I was standing there in a bra. I am not kidding you. I did it because I was like, I'm not going in a private room. Whatever you're going to do to me, you're going to do to me in public.
I complained about the taking our coats and our shoes. There was such a hoopla over it that the airline actually gave anybody who complained their free trip. They gave us free vouchers for everything. Oh yeah, it was a big deal. They made us sit.
Took them and kept them.
Yeah, they took our shoe. Okay, so they pulled out. They pulled almost 40% of the people flying, and they made us at the beginning pull off our jackets and our shoes. And they have the opening for the tarmac. So all this wind, it's cold outside. So God, it's freezing air blowing in. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, I'm freezing out here. We have no shoes, no coats," you know, and it took a while. They were very thorough at the time. That's why the guy got, snippy, and then everybody got amped up, and they were worse. Yeah, it was so bad though, the way they handled it, that again, the airlines, they ended up, the Fed made the airlines give everybody they said at first refunds, and instead of refund, they meant give vouchers, and they end up, giving you a better voucher than a refund. So I was like, well, that's good. I gave the voucher.
I learned to wear a t-shirt under a sweatshirt after that. I have never been to the airport again without a tight t-shirt on under a sweater. Yeah, but I didn't know that could happen. I didn't know that could happen. And you know what was
really why would you think of it? I mean,
I know. You know what was funny though is that everyone around me in line, including the men and the women, were all so embarrassed. Like everyone was like looking at the ground. And I could tell that everyone was just feeling like, this is terrible. Like, this is awful. But like, no one was looking at me. Like, no one did. Everyone looked away. And it was
good, at least,
I know it was. It was like, well, thank you, human beings, for being
a lot of times people are like that, though. A lot of times when there's something bizarre, people do show you like a modicum of decency. So that is good.
I think everybody understood. Like, I'd rather do it right there in public than go into a private room with some weirdo TSA.
Of course, you never know what they're going to do.
You're not taking me anywhere. No way, man.
Hale to the no. That's why you want to be checked in public.
Hale to the no.
Hale to the no. That's why I have my favorites. Thanks for 5. Rage with Tug Fun. Let's rage together. Janice, thanks for the 20. For Doug's new router. Oh, whatever. Thank you.
Or whatever.
Whatever.
I like that.
Dwayne, thanks for the 20. Tug Fun, baby. Thank you.
And Dwayne, if you're still here, Dwayne, thank you so much for the 200 that you dropped on that video I made the other day. That was really awesome,
sweet, man. Yeah, Dwayne's been supportive, and I mean, again, Dwayne, thank you, buddy. Little B dropped a super sticker there. Yes, Little B. I love those. Like I said, I always review back. The kids love to see them. So they're always, up to TOS standards. They pick them out. So I'm like, all right, let's check those out. Otter, thanks for the 2. To make them arrive, because we help you both. Love. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, for real. Oh man, could you imagine them riding? It'd be like a game of hungry hippos. Dan, thanks for the fun. If the police can get new laptops, can get new. Indeed, that is true. That is true. I try to use a desktop though when I do everything, just to say I have a laptop, but I use it for travel. You know, it brings its own problems. I try to have a desktop just because I find it easier. Terry, thanks for the 2. Otter Creek, 3 open seats. And 4 now, we found out. Thank you, by the way, too. I appreciate all of you. Again, Terry, thank you for throwing that in there. Rosa, thanks for the 2. Zim, Rex, Carl, 2 years. Okay, so it's the 2 and a 1 year seat. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, I got it. Stuart won a 1 year seat. Yes, so you're right, Terry. Thank you. Let's see how it goes there. The Floopy Cat. Thanks for the fun there. The Floopy Overlords. Me out of money for their personal tuna funds.
Oh, that's funny.
I like it. I love that one. I love the I one too. I think I saw it again today. David, thanks for the 2 there. Tug was like nut. No. Sean, thanks for the 20 towards the modem fund and a box of ammo. Indeed.
And a box of ammo.
Indeed.
I love that. On that note, I'm gonna bounce. Okay. I am getting sleepy. I'm gonna go lay down before I fall asleep.
We will see you tomorrow. We'll be going through that.
All right, guys.
Yep. Have a good one. We will be going through more stuff tomorrow, by the way. And again, thank you all. We've had a fun live stream. Frankie, thanks for the 25 for keeping us entertained and informed on the most outlandish case ever. Indeed. It has been, and you know, even if BBB, here's the crazy thing, even if BBB did get removed, he is still quite potentially going to be the suit in the case. And we have a mole. Remember, we haven't even gotten to the mole thing. We don't even know what's up with that. They keep saying it's fake. But you know what? The funny thing about that is they say stuff like that. And it turns out that they're wrong. Like when Jeremy's not saying there's a mole talking about stuff going on. He's saying there's somebody that they want to talk. And that makes sense, honestly. You know, somebody to come in, whoever the first person is, and to say, yo, I don't want to get sued into oblivion, or even if they think they can win potentially, you know, it's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of stress and aggravation. Maybe they don't want it. They don't think they have a solid enough case to do that potentially. So they're deciding to get on that again. These people, I would not want to be linked up with them. No way in hell. Deborah, thanks for the fun there. So get yourself a new computer with everyone's help. Well, thank you for that, man. I could definitely use one, like I said. Hey, Sean, thanks for the 50 there. Get a new PC phone. Thank you. Appreciate it. The one thing, honestly, what I've had to get in my house is crazy. With all this stuff that's been going on health-wise, I have a chair I sit in a lot, but I am not short. So when I sat down, my feet overhang, and the doctor was talking about that, talking about how like the way I was sitting was wrong. I had to pick up a new freaking recliner, you know, because they were like, yeah, you know, that stuff, it can play havoc on you. And I was like, well, that's great. Because I've been falling asleep in it a lot. You know, where I sit up, it helps my heart and stuff. And they were like, you need to be positioned a certain way. And oh my God. So I've been able to do that. Maybe I can get a PC. That would be good. Robert, thanks for the vibe. Starlink fun. Actually, I'm going to look into Starlink for real. See what that says, you know. Bug Naked, thanks for the 5. Crook is trying to service. Yeah, mine his crotch wrap slows him down. Could you imagine him like look at a little pitter patter of it? That'd be so weird. Jack, thanks for 2. Randy has stated he does not represent him 100%. And I do not understand the judge saying, hey, you've got to do X, Y, and Z, because again, that comes out of Jeremy's pocket. For the judge to say, like, Bruce doesn't do his due diligence. So does that mean on the flip side of that Bruce should, all those witnesses that he goes on live streams and stuff with, that he should have been asking them to go? I mean, it's bizarre, isn't it? Stick it with ya. Thanks for the 5. Have to head out. Be nice to each other. No caps. And listen to Mod. Yes, remember too, the cap thing. the only reason that's there, if you have like a disability again, is there's an issue where you need to use caps. That's okay. Some people just used to flood chats with it was such a mess. So that's one of the reasons that got instituted. And if you have some kind of reason where you have to do that, you have to do that, and that is understandable. But that's the only reason. And again, you would have people that just there's always a reason for everything. I hate having rules. Period. I wish we lived in a place where we didn't need mods. I love mods, by the way. That is not a shot at you anyway. I love you guys, but I wish we didn't have to have them. Wish we could just all do something, but unfortunately, that is not the reality there. So, yeah, thank you, and thanks to the mods, appreciate it. Janice, thanks for the 10. Zim is in a town hall every day. There's not enough an office for Zim there. The only person in town hall each day, town clerk, and only she has an office. Yeah, I mean, they could set up something. And again, and find Zim. He's going to have a home. There's going to be, again, set on his home. Wait for him. The thing is, like, typically you could do stuff like that, but it costs money. That's the problem. BBB is he's probably looking at self-preservation right now. If you read his filing, he's afraid. He's really afraid. And it's fascinating. It's crazy stuff. Polar Spot, thanks for the 2 there as well. For a big old blue bucket. Yes, a bucket to hide the sun. That's hilarious. Thank you, by the way. Becky, thanks for the 2 there. For computer stuff. Thank you for that. What's up, Dwayne, by the way? Thank you. $100 there. Thank you, Dwayne. Computer fun. Thank you, bud. That's awesome. And again, thank you for everything you do. Appreciate you, bud. Amy, thanks for the $5. Didn't get her candy money, so she's pulling the plug. Maybe that's what it is. Candy retaliation. Actually, funny enough, she's sleeping right now. It's so bizarre. Like, she is a live wire. She is an absolute live wire. So she is reading herself just finally. She fell asleep an hour before. It's pretty funny. Skip Truck, thanks for the 5 there. Megan killed Tuck's Wi-Fi because killing the stream is so passe. I know. She's like, yes, this is the true demolition, the true wrecking ball, right? Rozilla's real. Thanks for the 5. You can't go wrong with a computer running an AMD chip. Yeah, I'll talk to somebody about situating. That's not one of my skills. I've never built a computer on my own. In fact, the computer that I'm using now, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It in the middle of that depth trial, remember, I had a mic just fall apart, and I'd been live streaming so much that the computer I had, it was old anyway. It started to give out. So I went and got something to stand in because I had to have something the next day. And that stand-in I'm still using. It is a cheap piece of, well, it works. I don't want to insult it too bad, but having a good computer would be awesome. SF, thanks for the 2. We're pre-gaming for the 3rd. Indeed, that's what I feel like we're doing. We're getting the pre-game on. And again, I don't know what'll happen. Just to be honest, I'm not telling people that anything will. I just don't know. Carol, thanks for the 2. Barry Limp Busket. Not is a BBB. The Biscuit Boy, is that what you're talking about? Is he the process server? Is that what you're telling me? The Busted Biscuit guy? Is that what you're saying? Teresa, thanks for the 10. My mom died. No, my mom didn't die. Is that an emergency? I guess it would depend on who you're asking with that one, actually. Brazil, but my own. That's just not a skill again, My skill set, if I were somebody that built them, Kitty, you've done it before too. Funny, you did it, and he's 14. Your son has, yeah. I've never done it before. I'm not saying it might be easy, yeah, but for me, it's just nothing I've ever tried out. I need my daughter could probably figure out it, just to be honest. But Jack's mom thinks the two. How do you bankrupt people to claim no money legally? That's true too. That's actually that is a very good argument, Jack's mom. That's a great argument. How could Jeremy bankrupt people that claim indigency? Where'd all that extra money come from in the beginning? Aren't they already bankrupted? I mean, they don't have anything, right? So that's a good point. DTG, thanks for the 10. BB is a world-class cry bully. Yes, indeed. You know that meme of somebody shoveling crap, they're throwing it over a wall, and a little bit comes back, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm being attacked." Yeah, that's the way it goes. Shells, thank you for the membership there. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Doug's. Thank you, and appreciate you very much. Just Jay. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for the 2 there. Guys are making me blush. Much respect. I appreciate you, man. Again, YouTubers, it's fascinating. When people build channels, grinding out there, you will, sooner or later, one of the things that helps you over the hump is networking. You find people, you network with them, you do it right. You communicate with them, and Just has done a good job of that. So again, props with that. There's a way to do things, and done a good job. It's good to see you succeed, and I'm glad you're funny. You guys are funny, and that matters more than anything. Weezy Wheels, thanks for the 10 there. Spreading some love to the Tasteless. Thank you. They will appreciate it for sure. Thank you for that. John, actually, I've been buying. So I went down to Books A Million, and I was going through all of their books down there that are on sale. And I found a bunch. They had classics on sale. They had the Portrait of Dorian Gray, or Picture of Dorian Gray, rather. Bram Stoker's Dracula, Shelley's Frankenstein, and a few other things. They were on sale, and I wanted the oldest to read. She's been complaining about classics, and I told her you got to read some classics because you'll have hints dropped that in movies and just common vernacular. Somebody might call somebody Snowball, for example. It might be a George Orwell comment. It could be something else, but it could be that, for example. I saw a movie where somebody was referring to Animal Farm. And, we had a conversation about that. I was like, man, you need to read Animal Farm. So I went through and looked at that and some other books. I picked out some different ones. And I've been on a book kick lately myself. So, John, thanks for the 2. Motion to move to Tubetown. And that's where they need to have trial at Tubetown. Wouldn't that be amazing? Rob, thanks for the 20. Actually, Otter Creek is very small. No office or office from mayor. Salary's $100 a month. But all you have to do to find Zim, hang out at the water plant. He even offers visit there on demand. So I'm imagining that's the thing with Zim. I'm imagining that he's easy to find. He's not trying to dodge somebody, but he's not going out of his way to make sure that they serve him. Like that's the difference in it. And again, that's why you hire somebody to go and to serve someone. That's what Randy's done, And again, it's not like when Randy goes to serve BBB, 2L, all of those folks, when some of them have denied service, it's not, Randy's not out there saying, hey, you need to get your conspirators to help with this service. No, but it's just fascinating that the opposite, it seems to be claimed. And again, that was before filing 123. After Bruce filed that filing, holy crap, that may go over bad. The judge should hit him with sanctions because that is not an emergency filing. That does not qualify as an emergency filing in any way, shape, or form. So he should be sanctioned for it. That's what the judge said would happen if that crap was pulled. We'll see what happens though. So World Explorer, there's 5. How many more months? Bunch. Can't the judge just say that we're going to trial now? No more messing about. No, we're in discovery still. You know, we're still parked into that phase. So the thing is, if you went to trial right now, there's more to establish. You have to establish that certain things, they're admissible in a courtroom. You know, there's going to be plenty of argument about, you know, what is or isn't turned over. There were items, again, that they just ghosted. You have experts that have to be planning. And that is a problem there. You know, when they talk about you have the right to, you're talking about a quick, expedient trial. No, it runs on money. Justice runs on money. It's very slow. The slow grind. That's because all these people try to get paid. You know, you have lawyers. And again, it's just the way the system is. I'm not saying that anybody's trying to do this intentionally to hurt Germany. I'm just saying that's how that system works. And it's unfortunate. And it costs a fucking bundle to do. And yes, it would be great if it went faster. But on top of that, too, you actually have people in this that are not just litigants. Some of these people have promised to ruin a man's life. They promised that they're going to destroy him. So this stuff is going to go on for a while. Like August, even if the trial goes up, man, everything's not over. I mean, unless you have some dismissals, you still have other things that are happening too. So, I mean, you're talking about a lot more time. And unfortunately, Germany has to bear the brunt of that. It's one of the reasons I think that this stuff, again, it's important to talk about quite a bit. Because these assholes, you notice they start focusing on the other people. They were focusing on, I watch so you don't have to. You know, the Facebook profile, which again does a great job breaking down these idiots for live streams talking about what goes on. I love their breakdowns. I absolutely do. But they're focusing on them, or they're focusing on other people. And you know who they're not focusing on at that moment? Germany Hales. So yeah, but it is ridiculous. I do agree. But dog, thanks for the tune. Exact same thing BBB did in Connecticut. Exactly. Not surprised in the least. Are you? Becky thinks so too. The British one, who is the donor? Maybe. You know, the fascinating. I mean, that's possible. It is possible. I don't know. There are other people that are involved. So I'm not sure, but that is interesting. We're talking about the video recording. So I don't know. I'll have to look at that and see what kind of a lineup that is. But that is interesting. Three Finger Clay, thanks for the two there. BBB crashes more than American Airlines. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it is so crazy, though. He does have these crash outs. Like he has been, since the sanctions discussion especially, he just went absolutely crazy. It's been unhinged to watch. It is wild. And he pretends that he has some basis to do it on. Terry, thanks for the 10. British flag show using VPN hiding. That's quite possible too. Yeah. That could be, yeah, you could be right in that with the VPN use. Could be, yeah. Carolyn, thanks for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Carolyn, by the way. That's awesome. Appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. And thanks for the 3 months there. Glad to be a member. I'm glad to have you here. Oh, man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Elu, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Elu. That is awesome, too. You and Caroline right there. Bam. So both of you right in there. Just dropped 15 on people. I love it. Thank you. Knock it off. Thanks for the 5 there. I love this account here. I was very concerned that John C. was not at the meeting. So no opinion was there, leaving HE where. That's a good question, actually. Very good. Also, I don't follow judge's logic in this. Yeah, well, it's been, the judge is just angry. I don't like the if-thens that the judge, like when he put it in there, because if I haven't done anything wrong, saying that, well, if you did, then, but I didn't. There's no proof I've done anything wrong. So why are we even talking about that? That's so crazy. Continue. Thanks for fun. I don't know how I'll ever be able to watch any future court proceedings after watching Bubbles. The greatest lawyer in it. It is wild, isn't it? I've never seen a case that really merited daily consideration like this. I mean, we could talk about stuff that goes on in the ecosystem and other things, but typically you wouldn't have just the court itself consuming so much time. Like, this is very unusual. So I agree with you. How will I ever watch another trial? So crazy. Jada, thanks for the join there. Computer candy or lip gloss fun? Thank you for that, Jada. That is awesome of you, for sure. And again, I do appreciate all of you. Thank you. Lewis, thanks for the 2. For Starlink, I'll look at Starlink this week and see exactly how it works and everything. Thank you. Angela, thanks for the 7 there. I like waiting for you guys to read them, as it's more fun for me. I love Shizzy's open letters and reading. But also listen to you guys, to both you guys. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And on this, I do appreciate, I never want anybody, when we're looking through filings, I want you to make up your own minds. You don't have to think like me. That's the thing when we talk about someone else reading. You know, all of you, again, you may disagree with something on there, and maybe you'll correct something that I see and be like, oh yeah, you know, there's plenty of that, especially in places like Otter Creek, where I might not know specific details or something, but there's also sometimes filings where people correct something, and I do appreciate that very much so. You know, that's one of the beautiful things to go through there. And yes, I love that y'all read along with us. I'm just always saying, when I throw that out there, that reading on your own, definitely do that too. You know, it helps with the process there. But we go through every document we can get our hands on. That's one of the things, again, like the haters, I've never seen people skip out like those folks do in the ecosystem. They try to avoid documents while talking about cases. And that, like I said, I've never seen it. You know, the picking and choosing. That tells you how biased people are, because they don't want to read something that may blow a hole in what they say. Again, if you can find something that disproves what I'm talking about, and I can find it in a court filing, hey, great, awesome. Look forward to it. You know, that's part of that process. But I don't see the ecosystem doing that very much. Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Oh, yes, the Fed 2 case. We talked about that. Thank you, Max Lab, by the way. Again, love the Max Lab always, too. Max Lab has a lot of middle fingers, boy, at age, buddy. So thank you for what you do. Janice, thanks for the 10 there. Deuce Foreskin, Ambulance Chaser is exhausting. He is. His stuff is wild, too. It is wild. He's got to be exhausting as another lawyer. Could you imagine being a professional and having to deal with that? Oh, Andre, your favorite French Canadian. Love it. Thanks for the 5. If you get a chance, check out Lane Myers' Saga, another First Amendment violation. They want to put him in jail for many years. Lane Myers. I'll write it down. Give me a second. Where's my notepad? Give me 1 minute, okay? I will write it down now. If I get a chance, I will. I always keep a notepad, but after I moved everything the other day, it takes me a minute to find stuff. So Lane Myers case. All right, I will check that out. Thank you. Let's see. 1 second. All right, Brad. What's up, Brad? Thanks for the 5. KC in the Sunshine Band. Oh, actually, I polyflopped it. That's funny. Actually, that's the way. Polyflopped. I like that. I'm trying to imagine the beat in my mind with it. That's pretty funny. I love it. Janice, thanks for the 10 there. Gee whiz. Deuce Foreskin, Ambulance Chaser. Guess what the common denominator is for the reason we can't find an attorney? Guess what? It's you. Indeed. Indeed. Could you imagine? Again, he's burned other lawyers. Like, that's the thing. He's gone after other counsel. Like, who wants to, when, like, Silverman, you know, he's out there, they're talking smack about him. Like, he's trash. Randy, anybody that doesn't walk lockstep with them, they go after. And it's crazy. He said, thanks for the 10 there. Wait, Florida now has a law that elected officials have to disclose money. Do you think letting that disclosed all the donations? I don't know if since running for election, I'm not sure. Do you have to disclose anything before you're in office? I'm not sure about the procedure. I've never looked into that procedure specifically. So somebody, if that is the case, if you have to disclose before, then let me know. Like, somebody write me about that. Because I mean, if there is something on the books, I remember my mayor again talking about disclosures, which you have for elected officials. But before you're elected, I don't know. Is that the way it again? I don't know. Pickle Tech, thanks for the tip. There'll be voice recordings of these proceedings. No, unfortunately not. No, we will. What we will have with that is people telling us what happened. We will have Larry will be there, and Chandler, I believe, are both going. Of course, we'll have Jeremy there. So we'll see. We'll have a couple eyes. I really wanted to go. I do. I just, my two issues in there, a major one, with the kids, I could probably pull a couple of days there, and make that work. But health-wise, I don't know how that'll be. Oh man, Shizzy, by the way, he's already ended, man. Sorry, Shizzy, dude. I know we went long tonight. I had all those problems with stuff. And again, I appreciate Shizzy. Yeah, I hate streaming over his time. So I did stream way too long today. And that is my fault. So I hate streaming over Shizzy. Yeah, I try not to. But this has just been a crazy day too. Grace, thanks for 5. Dude's so full of it. And then after each bowel movement, he probably rinses off in the shower. So full. Thanks for the 2. 18 with 17 mail-ins. Oh, it's just me. That does sound crazy, wouldn't it? The Rob, thanks for the 5. 3 open, 2-year seats. 6 candidates. Voters pick 3 names. 1 seat, 1-year minimum. Pick 1 or 2 candidates. Thank you. Thank you, Rob, by the way, breaking that down. I do appreciate it. I wasn't sure about the particulars of everything there. Terry, thanks for 5. April Fool's Day is canceled and now be forever known as Deuce the Fool's Day. Indeed. Indeed. How would anyone ever top this day, right? For him. Chris, thanks for the 10. Appreciate the content. Starlink Fund. Thank you, Chris. It's awesome. It's appreciated there. Rob, thanks for the 5. 1-year seat. Carl beat Stewart. 6-person race. Zim, Rex, good guys. 1 second, I can call. Sorry about that. I had to mute out. I try to mute out. If I miss it every now and then, it's the weather. But Zim and Rex is good guys. And Russ, Tom 3 vote getters. Don, Lynette, low voters, don't get seats. It's just funny, Lynette, again, with all the bullshit that she has pulled. She not only goes out, she's made herself a limited purpose public figure by running for office, period. She knows that, but then she loses because if that would have happened, would the focus be on doing what is best for the town? I mean, again, that's where the voters did decide, and the voters said no, absolutely not. This would not be the best for them. Now, of course, they're going to blame Jeremy, right? He did it because otherwise, no. Janice, thanks for the 10. Tug, we're in Florida for baseball spring training, and the world shut down the weekend. We were to fly home. Our flight home changed 12 times to get back to Oklahoma. God, man, that'd crazy. We almost had to drive home. So that's nuts. I remember, again, after 9/11, there was a good friend of mine whose father died, and I had to be there. They were a really good friend of mine, and I needed to be there for them. Their father also meant a lot to me. They were a good guy too. But, at funerals, you go to pay respect, but you're there for the living. So I was I had to be there. And it was a wild thing. Lewis, thanks for the 2. Only 3 seated. So Russ is out. Russie. John, thanks for the month. Zim, Rex, Russ won the 2-year. Carl won the 1-year. Stewart did not win. Okay. I'm going to watch some of that stream with with everything covered. I think that would be a fun one to go through. Rhea Ra, thanks for the 2. I've worked with John or Mar. I said, John, look at that. I was reading the John Alive up top. I mixed your David. This is John. I worked with Mark. He builds computers. Indeed, I'll talk to him. I think a few people have mailed me about computers too. I'll see what everybody says. And thank y'all. Janice, thanks for the 10. Tug, there's not enough town business to go into town each day. If he's not a trailer park business or the water plant, to keep it running, Russ didn't want the water plant to actually work. Huh. I see, it's so bizarre, like everything that goes on with Otter Creek. I need to talk to more Otter Creek residents, by the way. More of you folks. Andre, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for that membership, Andre. And welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate you. Death Angel, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you very much. I appreciated that. Also, Shizzy's not home. Is that why the short stream now? Okay. I was trying to get there, and again, it took me a minute. Slug, thanks for the 2 there. Tug is a mole. He is Larry on the salamander. Oh no, no, that's hilarious. Hilarious. It is a fascinating concept. So, the more you all have thought about it, here's a question. I'm going to look at the super chats that also came through, Cash App, PayPal, and everything. 1 second, but. Who do you think the mole is now? Who are you all thinking? Everybody, a lot of people said again, they were saying stupid Dave. And that argument does work. I mean, again, there's an argument to be made for him. There's an argument to be made for Mellis. And again, when we say mole, I don't want to say there's some undercover, whatever. Or they flipped, they're ratting them out. Some of these people, they've been, how connected are they? Even Ray, I mean, before Ray got out there and started yelling about how he wasn't, I wouldn't have thought of him at most, but now I wonder about him too. But there's a case to be made for those 3 for sure. And I do have to wonder, with communications, all of them can have good communications. MLS may have some good lawyer communications, lawyer to lawyer. There may be some good stuff with him. I figure Bruce, just the way some of the contacts. So here's a fascinating thing as well. Here's an admission. You had Stupid Dave admit to his communications with Bruce. He actually admits to them when he makes a comment on paint or not paint chins, but Darth Touches, his last article. He goes in and he says, I'm paraphrasing, that I told Bruce you were great, and Bruce told me I might get you for an interview. And I thought that's really bizarre. First of all, what the fuck, fat boy? What's up, dude? You know these people's backgrounds, and just like I don't care at all. Because the bad guy over there, you just have to unite. And that's very telling. Again, why don't I want to talk to a paint chips? Well, I wonder why. So let me go through. Let me look real quick here. Oh, there's Venmo here. Rachel's in a 20 there. Thank you. Hugs and love. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That very much so. Thank you. It's awesome. I just saw that hit too. Thank you there. 1 second here. Man, Andre. I'm using first names there too. Okay. Just there. It's in 100 there. Thank you, Andre. That's amazing for a computer fund. Thank you for that. That is very awesome of you. Very good. Alan, thanks for, I sent 100 as well. Thank you for that too. That's computer funded as well. Thank you for that. That's, again, that's amazing. I definitely need to rebuild that sucker. So, it is a mess. I'll take a picture of it one day for y'all. I'd probably I'd probably clean it out and give it to the oldest and let her go for it, learning the desktop. Karen, thank you. Sent 25 PayPal there. That's awesome there. Thank you. Appreciate that. Better Wi-Fi, candy, make it better. Well, thank you for that. like I said, that is very nice of you. It's very, again, I appreciate all of you folks there. Max Lab, send 4 over there too. Router money. Thank you for that too. I mean, again, y'all are awesome. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you being here. We had kind of a long stream tonight. We got through certain things. Again, we had major technical difficulties in that. It has been a crazy day too. I'll tell you all about some of this stuff again. I had to go to a hospital the size. It looks like it was built by IKEA yet again. Some of the stuff that went on there was absolutely just insane. It's still going. It was so bad. I've never in my life ever filed a complaint with the state about hospital, but after dealing with them twice, it was so absurd and it was so nasty the way that it went. Then I filed a complaint with the state for it. That's how bad dealing with them was. I've never experienced anything like that. So I'll tell you all about that. It's still ongoing too. It's been crazy stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna call it tonight. And I appreciate you all being here. It has been an interesting live stream. Tomorrow we will continue on that document. And again, thank you all. And we will see you.